die. Ooh, fair. Ooh, your coach is ghost. Ooh, God bless. Ooh, happy spectacular. Ooh, coach's corner. Hello, brothers, and welcome to the first episode of the Coach's Corner with your brother, the ghost of Coach Christmas, and me, your coach, Christmas.
Nope, no, brother. I believe you're the ghost. You're the ghost. I'm still alive, believe it or not.
Brother, you're saying I'm the ghost of your coach?
It would appear that way.
And that would make you my coach.
I I would there be. Yep, yeah, you got it.
Oh, brother, I was confused. We look so much alike with the big bellies. I got the old diet, diet. The great hair. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah,
I just got confused.
it's tough to distinguish the two of us apart at this point.
That's what the people are saying, brother. Um, well, that explains why we have the ghost of Christmas past on my background. Look at that. Who
Look at
knew?
that.
Yeah. Well, so I guess that means I'm running this pod. And I guess that means that today I'm gonna be your ghost of Christmas past.
Wow.
I'm gonna take you back through your Christmas spectaculars past.
Wow.
I'm gonna dive into your film.
Okay.
I'm gonna dive into your schwint,
Wow.
and I'm gonna tell you what I see. I'm gonna tell the people what I see.
Uh, Probably nothing good in there.
No, frankly, and really, at the end of the day, I'm gonna coach up the coach himself. Is what we're gonna do.
God knows I could use it.
Yeah. Okay, brother. Um. So before we dive into the film here, do you have anything to say to the people of the spectacular?
I have a lot of things to say, Zeke, and I'm waiting for a platform such as this to say these types of things, and I don't know how it's going to get taken by the Christmas Spectacular community. It's just kind of something I've been holding in for a little bit of time now, but I think this is a good time to say it, Zeke. Happy Spectacular.
Oh, brother, happy spectacular.
Uh, thank you. Happy
Oh,
Spectacular to
brother.
you.
Oh,
Happy Spectacular to all the people watching. Let me tell you, Zeke, campaigns, they're starting to come around the old mountain. All right. Just this week, we've had count them two Ryan Hollins videos. We've had you drop Coach's Corner, the big announcement about this episode. You know, I'm honored to be the first guest, along with a lot of other videos from you with the quiet, quiet, um, a lot of that, a lot of pillows in the belly. We had Liam Costa throw off the entire. I mean, that was a video that brought me back to. I keep saying it brought me back to the 2021 campaign season. It was really just extremely well done. At no point did I think that might not be Dan on the phone. It turns out there's a chance that was artificial intelligence. Even you, the first time, I didn't. It had me completely convinced it was you, or Lawyer Love, I should say. Uh, so an awesome video out of Candy Cane. Great to see him getting back in the race. Still a couple people that we're waiting on. Waiting on King Kringle. Are we gonna see King Kringle make any moves? We're kind of still waiting on Mistletoe Matt. He's thrown in a happy spectacular here, a happy spectacular there.
happy
Are we gonna see
spectacular.
anything out of him? And happy spectacular goes a long way. Yuletide had a hot start in September, but kind of quieting down here in the important months. But I hear stuff is in the work. I hear stuff is in the works. I hope he's not turning into his brother. No offense to my brother.
Part two.
Um,
Part two. I heard
but
it's coming
we
out soon.
also we have a huge new competitor, and I mean that in Christmas cheer size. Giuseppe, gingerbread Giuseppe, that is, bursting onto the scene. Zeke, I know you weren't at softball,
From what
so
I've
let me
heard,
give
he
you
bursted in more than one
a,
ways.
a little reenactment. slides into second base. Now, him and the ump, they've had good rapport up to this point, I guess, a little back and forth. This kid slides into second base and is out by what I want to say is about 20 feet. He gets up and just starts going, "Oh, jerking my cock, jerking my cock, you're jerking my cock." Goes right up to the umpire's face and gives him one of these. Just throws it at him. So Gingerbread Giuseppe, and that was all in a Christmas hat and Christmas pants. So Gingerbread Giuseppe is on the scene. So things have heated up, and I think things. I think it's going to be a hot November, hot November, hot November.
Let me tell you, brother,
Happy spectacular.
happy spectacular. I mean, that's as only a coach could do, letting you know what he sees from his players. As a ghost of a coach, I see similar things. Uh, I love my vets. The coach loves his vets. Candy Cane Costa, getting in there with um, great vid, high production value. Um, we there was a stretch where that was all we were doing. So good to see that getting in there. Ryan Hollins, at this point, is he in the running for a pick himself? You almost have to
He might
wonder.
be, and
He's more
Not
campaigning
only
than
two
some
Ryan
people
Hollins
in
videos.
what
We also got his song, which I think what is it called? First pick,
first pick.
fire song, fire song, rookie of the year, like I'm Damien. He says,
Zeke may not be Muslim, but he's committing those crimes. Dropping
absolutely
bombs in Palestine.
one of my favorite songs out of the man.
Oh, I mean, he gets shit's fire, as he would say. Shit's fire. Um, so phenomenal stuff. I as some might say the current coach, but the previous one in the committee, I still want to see more out of my players. I
Absolutely.
think Matt's reaching his um, living up to his potential. I don't know that I see anybody else out there doing that. I want to see more out of myself. I haven't dropped a bomb yet. Coming, haven't dropped one yet.
Oh
But
yeah, I think you've been very consistent. I think this series is a good start, but I think Liam had one of the first true bomb drops, and then Matt. I mean, he's a rookie campaigning like a veteran out here. I would go out on a limb and say the best campaign so far.
that's
And
not a
I
call.
mean,
That's an easy call.
yeah, I think. I mean, listen, there's a world where a great campaign out of Matt. It would take a spectacular campaign and everyone else not campaigning as well. But if you think Matt can't go number one this year, I think you're mistaken.
A certain coach might have different opinions on that, but
I just think you're mistaken if you don't think he can go number one. If you don't think it's a possibility.
it's okay, brother. Well, we'll get into that at another point. Um, we might do some rankings later on. Talk about this. Talk about that. But
Why
before we
not?
get any further, let's talk about you. Let's look at your film and put the coach under the coaching eye. That. All right, brother. In all fairness, disclosure, we already recorded 30 minutes of this podcast, and it went as horribly bad as you could imagine. But I think we've figured out how to do this now, so I am going to give it a try. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Look at this.
You're
Can you see it?
sharing a screen. Whoa.
Okay. Can you see this, brother?
Yeah, it would look like my text messages.
Yes, brother. We're going to start there. This is the first film.
Okay. Yeah,
Just yesterday, brother. I promised the people the coach's corner this Tuesday.
sure did.
The coach promised me, oh, yes, brother, I'll be there. We're going to go all night. Even talks of seeing the sunrise.
Yep.
We were supposed to get on at 10 o'clock. As you
Yes.
brothers can see, at 10:36 p.m., nothing from my brother, so I had to text him, oh, brother, are you almost ready? Now, as a coach, what do you see on the film here following that text?
Can you scroll up a little bit for me?
Oh, brother, no need.
Really,
Hey, here we go, brother.
I said, what do we think I can do tomorrow? Didn't mean didn't mean we had to do tomorrow. I would have gotten up and gone right then and there, but you said, listen, there's availability. There's availability tomorrow. Once I heard there was availability tomorrow, Zeke, I jumped all over it. Jumped all over it.
Okay, brother. All right.
Jumped all over it. I will tell you, I fell asleep yesterday at about 6:15 in the afternoon. I don't know if you can call it afternoon because it's pitch black out now. But I would say I do that about once a week. I think I average. I've been getting better with my bedtime. For the people back home who are interested, I'd say on the weekdays, I'm usually asleep around 1 o'clock in the morning. I get up around 8, so that's 7 hours of sleep. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. And some days it's a little earlier, some days it's a little later, but it's usually around 7 hours of sleep. But one day a week, I get like 12 hours of sleep. I mean, yesterday I got literally 14 hours of sleep. So I think I don't know if I'm on to something. I mean, I wake up feeling like Clark fucking Kent between that, the honey, and the what else do I do? I did the honey. That I get my sunshine. I'm with Rob. I get all three, and you go to work feeling like Clark. So that's that.
Clark Kent, brother.
Yep.
Would Clark Kent do the Zoot when he had a engagement for to promote the spectacular? Do you think?
Also, let me hear while we're here. I found out I was doing the podcast through Zeke's video where he goes, and my first guest is Coach Christmas, and this video will be dropping Tuesday night. It was Tuesday at like 3 in the
It
afternoon.
was Monday, brother. Monday.
It might have been Monday. It might have been Monday.
It
The
was.
video came out Monday?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how right that is.
We can go back and look at the film if
We
you
could
like.
always, that's the great part about this show, huh? All right, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that it was Tuesday. And listen, I did take a nap in my defense. Have a great night. Um, in my defense, I thought I was going to the great Joe Rogan's household. Um, so I set an alarm for 7:30. That's only an hour long nap. That's not too bad. Then all of a sudden I wake up, I'm ready to go. He says, brother, you may need to pause. Jessica wants to see me. So I got overruled by the young Ska. I hope they had a great night together. And but then I rolled over, went right back to bed. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be up till 10:30 now. Or I don't have to be up till 10. Something happened at 9:50. I think I pressed a snooze button and didn't get up till 10:30. And I didn't know if that was too late for a podcast such as this. And then imagine we had the technical troubles that we went through. Look at how much better everything is today. So, I think sometimes good things take time. You gotta wait for the greatest things in life. And that's what happened here with your coach.
It's a good coaching analysis, but there was just one more thing I want to cover. The last text on the screen. What does that one say?
Well, brother, a man can dream, I would hope that a good coach, like listen, if sometimes Zeke, you blow a play, everyone knows you blow a hand, but a hand up, that was a bad play. There's nothing up. What do we got to Wills? Well, everyone in the room knows it's a bad play. Everyone in the room, there's no coaching. That's just a bad play. Bad play won't happen again. Won't happen again, coach. I say it on the sideline. Please don't bring this up in film. Just don't even show it. I don't. This play is dead to me. That's how I felt when I woke up.
And that's one of the things I love about your coach, folks. How can you listen to a coach if the coach isn't going to listen to himself? Accountability is the name of the game. And your coach Christmas held himself accountable here, so we're going to give him a pass.
Hands up.
Let us now go take a look at some of your film from years past.
I mean, that is absurd.
Folks, I must admit, Coach Christmas has a lot of film. Over 1,300 tweets. Let me get the exact number for you, folks. Here,
Yeah, I
actually.
don't campaign though.
Um, I saw it. Does it not say it anymore? Posts. 1.4 thousand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
1.4
don't campaign
thousand.
though.
1.4 thousand posts that I scrolled through for about 3 or 4 hours yesterday.
I forgot half
Um,
of these existed.
Oh, brother, there's some good ones. I recommend this to anybody. Go back and watch your old game film. It'll tell you a lot about where the Specky was and how great it was and where we can
Yeah,
improve.
this is bringing me back, and I'll say I'm working on the video for 2021, and I'm excited about it.
And
I'm excited about it. I think it's
um
nice to be able to go back and watch old years, and we
2021
haven't.
or 2022.
It's whatever year I was a boxer.
So 2021.
The Joe Rogan year. I believe that's 21, 22. Last year was 22, 23. This year's
Yeah.
23, 24.
So we're
Why
2
we
years
couldn't?
behind on the videos.
We are, but I'm gonna get this one done, and maybe over the off
Hmm.
season I'll work on the other one, and then by the start of next season we'll have this year's. That's the goal.
God bless. All
They're
right.
long videos, so it's not easy to crank out, but we aren't behind. And when people ask about the spectacular, the easiest thing to do is sit them down and show them a video. But now I'm showing people videos that are 2, 3 years old. We're so much past this, as good
If
as
you
Speccy was back then. We've
if you're
we've grown
prepping
every
for an
year.
opponent, you watch the most recent game film. You don't go back and watch 2 or 3 years ago. You do,
Exactly.
but you want to see the most recent ones. So let's start with this one. This one's a little less recent. Let's see what. Can we hear that volume?
I believe we can.
That
I
was
think
some
Sean.
fun. All right. So what we're gonna do? We're just gonna do a watch through,
Okay.
general reactions, and then I'm gonna bring us to certain points I want to dive deeper into.
Okay.
All right. So let's sit back and watch this.
The singing deck the halls, not
That's
like Christmas at all. I remember when you were here, all the fun we had last year.
this is by far
There was a
the
way
greatest spectacular we have ever
to
had.
hold back these tears.
What
Oh, but it's a Christmas day. Please, 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 please. Oh, come on. Oh, baby.
John, are you ready? Jaga little papa! Let's fucking go to the spectacular! Let's fucking go!
The singing deck.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
first thoughts on rewatching this film here, Coach.
I mean, listen, some great moments. I'm brought back to some really, just some great memories, and really just like some old Specky vibes, especially that. When I wore this is like 4 years ago at this point, so that's an oldie but a goodie. But also, just that's the kind of player I am, the kind of player I was. Uh, you know, it's not just about the plates, it's not just about the attire. I just don't think there's many people that bring the energy, passion, and the Christmas spirit that your Coach Christmas, does at the Christmas Spectacular.
And looking at the film, it's hard to deny that. Um, this is this is a type of spirit and energy that I would say um, I trust people to bring the day of, but I want to start seeing this during the campaign season again.
Because
Um,
Zeke, that's I think that's a part of what made the Spectacular so special was the campaign season. And I think people, oh, it's a hindrance. I'm very busy. I'm this, I'm that. But then when the campaign seasons were going, when campaign seasons were in full effect, I remember people saying they used to go to the Specky, go to the Twitter, and it would be an escape for them. It would be something to do when they were bored, when they were stressed. It was all this stuff. So where is that now? What has happened that we're missing that now? Um, I don't know, but I think it's starting to come back. I think the people are missing it, and I think it's going to be a hot November.
I'm with you there, brother. So let's look at some specific things in this video that can maybe get us a little bit even more hyped for this Christmas season and get
Sure
these
thing.
campaigns vibe. So if
The singing.
let's watch the form here on this diet pour and chug, if we will. See what we're working with. So we're getting a pour, and I'm seeing about maybe 3/4 of the way up the trophy. Would you say?
I would say so. I'd say 3/4 is a good estimate.
And I think that's a veteran move. If you fill that all the way, there's going to be too much spillage, and you can't
No.
waste diet. If there's anything a coach knows, you can't waste diet.
That's a really good eye there, Zeke. You can't waste diet. You don't want to make a mess of the house, so and you don't want to make a mess of all your attire that day. So you go 3/4. You don't want it over. You want to look like you've been there before, and then you can just do one foul swoop right into the mouth.
Well, let's see if you did that one full swoop.
Sure did.
A little
Sure
turn away,
did.
and it's down the hatch, and that
Yeah.
puts. Um, this is something that I know we've discussed before, but um, will there ever become more of a drinking component competition to the spectacular?
It's a good question. I mean, really, right now, all we have, and not all we have. I mean, it's one of the things I look forward to slash, don't look forward to every year is the grapefruit juice. People have said, should we make it where everything of grapefruit juice you take down is a half a plate or something like that. But it opens up a whole nother discussion. Should it even be a why make a competition out of the grapefruit juice? You show up that day, we all get together, we clink some grapefruit juice, we take it down, and we're all like, that was nasty. And I think that's beautiful. And I'm in a weird place this year, and people are gonna call bullshit. That I don't think I'm going for the plate record this year, Zeke. I really
Oh,
don't.
my brother, guess what? Oh, what a shit!
Yeah, I know.
It's
But I
baseball.
think last year I said what I was gonna do. I said I was gonna go out. I was gonna beat the plate record. I was gonna eat the most plates. I was gonna finish in first. And I smoked the competition. Wasn't even close. Left no doubts who the best eater in the group was. I mean, to say the least. Um, and I just don't know if I was able. Like even this weekend, I actually was at Eastwind enjoying a brunch with my family, and there was something nice about just going up there, getting what I'd like. I doubled down on prime rib. I had some eggplant, and I was really enjoying it, Zeke. And I still put down 3 fucking plates. I think the day of the specky, I'll still put down 4 or 5. But do I need to start bumping my bagel in water trying to get 7.5? I just don't know if I need to do that this year. I think I'm gonna take it. My goal is to really enjoy the specky this year. And I don't think I finish in first for plates. If the my specky people put out a line, I would not bet on me.
Well, my take is even if you go for the competition, you might not finish in first.
It's a take. It hasn't been right in 6 years, but it's a take.
No, it's a take.
It's
But
a take.
a moderate coach, that's it's a new one, and maybe we saw the beginnings of it with the 3/4 diet for. Maybe that
Maybe
this is
that's
the
maybe
beginning.
you saw that's a great eye out of you.
All right, well let's move on here. We got uh a tackling of the tree.
Yeah,
Let's look at this form here.
sure.
Um, I mean, to start with, this is a slimmer coach.
I was gonna ask you, you're going slimmer. It looks like a younger coach, but I can't. I mean, you back up. I mean, there's some
No,
some
you're
meat.
right. I take it back. I might
Yeah,
take it
there's
back.
there's some meat on the bone.
There's some meat. You're gonna hit that tree with force. I take it back. I take it back.
Yeah.
You're
Now
younger though. You're younger.
I'm definitely younger. That's 4 years ago. I definitely look younger. I can't grow a beard the right way. A lot of things are wrong.
All right. Well, let's see. Let's see the explosion off the line here. That's some good quickness.
This is right at I was a high school football D lineman, probably
You
a year
see
and a
that
half removed.
you see that bend off the edge for sure. Low to
Yeah.
the ground. The
Yeah,
tackling.
that's true. Yeah.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna say. I think you went in a little sideways.
Yeah, I think you definitely could be right. I think those trees it's hard to tell where the center is. That's actually a really good take, Eddie Zeke. I do find myself getting all over these trees. I think someone has a video from this year. I've gotten better every year. And this is actually a part I look forward to every year. And I will be hitting this tree with full force again this season. I think it'll be my best tackle ever. I think it'll be my best tackle ever for various reasons. But I'm prepared for the tackle. Um, but yeah, I think I did fall a little off to the side. I hit it too high and kind of fell down. I don't think I was expecting how loose this tree was or how quickly I broke it off.
All right, yeah. So I would say this year you focus on hit, the two fundamentals of tackling: hit low and straight up. You want
Yeah,
to
and yeah, The problem with this tree, the trees are, is I almost do more of like a belly flop onto it because let me tell you, when you wrap your hands around those things, you're getting cut up. I had some solid blood coming off my arm last year. That's fine. That's something I'm willing to do for the spectacular, but you get cut up. But I want to every year. I think I've been going for height more so, try to like show people how high up I'll dive onto a tree, almost like a swanton bomb. So I don't know which way I'll go this year. If I'll go for like
It's
the
like a
pure strength,
swanton bomb, folks. That's your
yeah,
move.
yeah. I don't know if I'll go for the spear or the swanton this year, but it will be must see TV, and I will be prepared for it. You do what you want with that information.
All right. Well, now this is. I'm getting excited for the tree tackling. Let's see. We got a baseball swing here. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let's see what we're working with. Doing the self toss. You're keeping your eyes on the ball. You're keeping your eyes on the ball. You kept your eyes on the ball the whole way there. That's
yeah.
phenomenal.
Wow.
I will say that front foot kind of flying around in the air. I didn't see much of a plant. I want to see a bit more of a plant with that. You look like a pitcher almost coming in for the line.
Yeah, I was getting some juice into that boy.
But you hooked that one down the line. Now, do you think you kept it fair?
I sure did. As you see right there,
All
head
right, you
down.
did.
That's I
You've
kept
taken
it.
off. That's
Yeah, I
phenomenal.
kept it just fair. But it
No,
was,
no backflip either. You put your head down and you ran an old fashioned.
go back. Was there a bat flip? I don't think there was, right? It was just an old classic.
No,
Yeah, it was almost like
drop,
just
drop
the
to the center.
drop, I love that. That
That's
was
a
probably one
skill.
of my favorite. That was a clean entrance at. I mean, I don't think I get enough credit for that.
No, that was I forgot how clean it was. I'll give that to you.
Yeah.
Um, we'll move on from your speech here. Uh, that's let's how what do we feel about the ass?
No, listen, ass has never been my strong suit. I do
Yeah,
love that uniform though.
the great uniform. You need some of what the mobs has been taking though for the ass because
The worst part is I just don't think that kid's taking a damn thing.
I know. Trust me.
I just pure. That kid was born with a fucking Kim Kardashian coming out his ass back. I don't know what to say. Some people have it all.
No, what do we got here? We got a hug. Let's look at
Yeah,
this hug form. Came in. Good job avoiding head to head contact.
yeah,
Impressive.
that was really clean.
That was look at this, folks. They're coming in. It's
Because
head to
we're
head.
on a yeah,
And the
good eye.
swerve at the last second. That is well done.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do have a
That's too
question
that.
for you because if you lower your eyes, was there some cock to cock contact?
We're listen, me and Dan, we're two men with big bellies and small cocks. There was no cock to cock there.
That's fair.
Zero. And if there was, we would have been thrilled. But there was none. That's just there's probably you could probably park a car between our cocks
You get the
in
thumbs
that
up.
video.
Oh, that's some true love. And this gives us a chance. How would you describe the transition from the previous committee to you as the current committee?
Wow. Okay, that's not where I thought we were going here. How would I describe the transition? Um, I don't feel like I've really done too much. Um, Listen, this was thrown off. This was thrown on to us, very suddenly. We were forced to kind of decide what the Christmas Spectacular was. As much as nice as it was of Dan to come forward and tell us all how he was feeling, it wasn't like a hey, let's make a plan for next year. It was I'm stepping down right now, and we were already in I think October, right? Something like that,
Yeah,
late September.
October.
It was just we were kind of all over the place, scrambling for an idea. Um, and I just didn't like what was being thrown around, and so that's why I kind of, I made my case. I think people got behind it. They saw what I saw. And I've tried to do the best job I can, but we haven't had, well, the people haven't been very receptive. At first, it took a long time for people to get going, but listen, now that it's November, people are, starting to get in there. I'm hoping for a competitive season so I can make some decisions, do some of the things I wanted to do, but I've done that with the grades. I've called players, I've asked them their opinions, this, that, and the other thing. Um, so we're doing the best we can, but it's been a slow year, so I haven't had to do much, which is probably a good and a bad thing. But I do kind of this year. I think I wish I would have stayed a player, just because I think maybe I was needed more on that side of the ball. I don't know. I think the campaigns would have been better, but maybe they would have been worse because I mean I would have gone number one again. So who knows?
Yeah, your ghost is trying to fill the void a little bit, rally the troops.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, people are starting to step up, and I think we're getting going now. I hope so. And I have no doubts it's going to be a great spectacular. We have a town hall coming up. It's going to be a different kind of town hall than we're used to seeing. It's going to be, I think, in person with a couple of people attending online. And be prepared to answer some hard-hitting questions. It's not just going to be, power rankings and all this, all that shit. It's going to be, why should I pick you over this person? What do you bring to the table? You did this last year. Why should I expect you to do any different? It's almost going to be a campaign slash interview style, but in an open forum. Um, and I think that'll get the people going. And it's almost like a built-in campaign as well. So I think that's my next big move as the committee, along with my great partner Cal. Yeah, so we're real excited for that.
Phenomenal. Let's see if we have anything else to break down here in this video. Oh, we
Yeah,
have.
oh,
Let's give one more listen to your.
sure.
Are you ready here? You lost the volume, it seems.
Seems, but I mean, I can almost hear it still.
Let's see if I can fix that.
I feel like I look like I just lost my son.
Yeah, that's some image to pause on. Let's see if we have that.
I mean, listen, worst case, everyone knows what I say.
All right. Yeah, you want to give a little reenactment for us?
Yeah, sure. If you wanna, I'll give you like a temper.
Are you ready? That was good, brother. I love that, and this is a great moment of the spectacular. I'll be interested
you.
to see as the committee where you go with that this year.
Yeah, I think the car ride might be a little different this year. We're not sure yet. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm very intrigued. All right, let's move on to a new video here. Some have called this one the greatest motivational speech of all time.
Some have.
We're gonna take a listen and see what we think about that claim.
Campaign on everybody, coach here. A very big day today, obviously election day. Go out and vote. I just came back from voting, and I just wanted to remind you guys to get your fucking shit together. Go out there and campaign today. All right, do something. Podcast this weekend. Go do something. Have a big moment. Start your campaign. On everybody, coach here. A very big day today.
Now that's a slimmer coach.
That's you think?
Yeah, that's where I'm sitting.
That's
You
fair.
gotta
I
tell
can
him
really
the
tell
face.
you have too much clothes on.
Yeah.
This is a relevant video, let me tell you. Get
Yeah.
your fucking campaigns on.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That
That was pretty good.
Let's go.
That was pretty good.
I'm working on that.
Thank you. That was great. But
Um,
no, I mean, it's more relevant now than ever. I mean, start your fucking campaigns. But this has been a problem with people. And
but to think that I'll tell you, when you sent this video out, the campaigns were going more than they are now. I'll tell you
it
that.
was also, if you look at the date, September 5th.
Oh, I take it back, brother. September 5th. Now that's a veteran coach picking up that.
Well, I know. I think this calls for a throwback to some. Okay, so this isn't from September 5th. I put this out again on September 5th. But
Okay.
this video, I believe,
That's
is
because
more
that's what
like,
I had thought originally. Okay, so I was
yeah,
right.
this was more of like an October, November video.
Yeah.
Like it was a slower year for sure. I forget the exact. I think this is before Joe Rogan. So this is the year before Joe Rogan. I think this is probably before you burst onto the
This is
scene as
probably right
Jingle
before
Bombs.
Jingle Bombs, frankly.
Yeah.
I remember watching this video and being like, "Shit, I gotta get going."
Yeah, I think this is what sparked Jingle Bombs and a lot of other people to start their campaigns that season. This time it was Rob, it was Cal, it was probably still Lars was in there, and I'm sure he was campaigning. Candy Cane Costa, it was a different group. And we'd seen campaigns, but not like we had seen. I didn't even know what a campaign was when I was screaming my ass off. It was nothing like what we saw in the following years. So this really probably did spark the start of the real campaign era.
So I have to agree with you, and whether it's the greatest motivational speech of all time, It's a big question. I'll give you a greatest motivational speech of the spectacular. I'll give you that.
Oh, thank you.
So there it is, folks. In fact, this is so relevant. Gonna I'm gonna do something with this. I'm gonna send it in the chat. I might do my own reenactment as the ghost of your coach, because I think
Wow.
this one calls for some relevancy. All right, next up we have a kickoff video, and the Coach Christmas kickoffs have been something I've always admired. So I wanted to take one of them and look at it and just use that as a springboard to talk about your general campaign kickoff videos.
Okay. Great.
Look at that.
Wow. Feels good to be back. Doesn't it feel good to be back? What a year. What a year last year was. I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering from last year. That's what a crazy year it was. Pandemic. Masks. Majestic Gardens closed. We couldn't even cut down a Christmas tree. But still, it was the greatest spectacular of all time. How does that happen? How does that happen? I'll tell you exactly how it happens, folks. It happens thanks to the committee. It happens thanks to the Vario family. Shout out King Trinket. It happens thanks to every player last year's draft class. Top to bottom, the most competitive, stacked class in spectacular history by far. By far. It happens even thanks to the players that weren't picked, that any other year would be having grades and performances that you would think they were top picks. Top picks out of Rob, Cal, and Joe. Unbelievable year. Unbelievable year. And with that stacked class, all that pressure.
Oh, wow. Wow. Left me on a cliffhanger there.
Well, that's we're not gonna watch the part 2 because I think it go on for quite a while.
I do.
So before I'm gonna spend some time looking at your intro, but before
Sure.
we get to that, I just have a comment about some of the content there. And this is looking back through your videos. This was a theme pretty much every kickoff year.
Okay.
The previous year was the best spectacular ever, the deepest draft class, the most stacked, better than ever.
Yeah.
That's been something you've said at the start of every year.
Yeah.
Can you assess where we're at this year, and if you had done a campaign kickoff video, is that how you would have started it for like the 4th straight year in a row?
Would I have said that last year's spectacular was the best spectacular of all time? And I think it was I think it was the biggest. Nah. I don't know if it was the best. I don't think anyone would, if they were picking spectaculars, would pick last year's.
I'm with you there. I would say I'd almost argue that
Yeah.
the 2 previous years might have I put it third of the ones I've been to.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree. I think even the year before, what was the year before this year? That was first time back at Eastwind, or that was
First time at
we were
Eastwind.
in Dan.
Yeah.
Or was that Dan's office?
No,
Dan Tom's
Eastwind,
office.
Dan's office, and then last year.
Eastwind, and then last year. So the time before last year. I mean, that was a good spectacular, but I don't know if it was the best of all time, like I say in this video. I don't know. I think what we had, I think, you know what? No, that spectacular year was the best spectacular year ever, including campaigns, the amount of people that dressed up. We brought Savallo in officially. I don't know if that was his first year or not. Maybe his second year. I can't really remember. But we had you there, Savallo there, Liam there, Madness there. Like everybody was there. So I will say, I think that was the peak Specky so far. As far as people, participation, campaigns, we have never topped that at all. Really not. Because even last year the campaigns were really good. I don't think they were as good as when Joe Rogan was around. I don't, yeah, no, last year was a lot of like retiring, unretiring, stuff like that. Um, so no, 2021, 2022, I think is the goated, or is 2020, 2021, 2020, 2021, I think is the best spectacular on the book so far, in my opinion. But
Like the Joe
even,
Rogan year. you're
even
saying.
in that, the only thing we're missing there is East Wind. No, not that anything was wrong with Dan's mom's office, but it missed a little bit of that, East Wind big game day feel.
Yeah, yeah, I'd say, yeah, I agree. But the year before at Eastland was also was right behind it. I would say.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And then that's what I'm saying is the biggest. It was the best. Blah blah blah. But now, I'm a couple years removed. I've grown as a player, and I kind of yearn for the days where it was a little bit more personal, where it was a little bit more, where it was less competitive, more personal. You enjoyed your time. You enjoyed the people around you. I kind of missed it. Like, now if you ask me my favorite spectacular, I might pick a spectacular 4 or 5 years ago, but it's not necessarily the biggest one. You know what I'm saying? So, but to answer your question in short, no, I wouldn't say I wouldn't have said the same thing this year. I don't think.
All right, I think that's a
And I'd
challenge.
be surprised if we're saying the same thing, honestly. And I know I'm the committee. I'd be surprised if we're saying the same thing after this spectacular. But we'll see. I could be proven wrong.
That's a coach. He read the tendency report. That was the next question coming. So
Okay.
great way to get out in front of that. I think that's a challenge to everybody, and I think it's a challenge to the town hall to see what direction do we want to go. Because do we want to go ultra competitive, or do we want to tone it down a bit and really get to the heart of the spec? I think that's going to be some big conversations to be had.
I think you laid that out perfectly. There's two ways we can go, and I'm fine with either. Um, how much do we want? Like, I think there's a lot of things, and we'll save this for the town hall, but I'll lay it out here because you brought me on the platform. What do we still want in the Specky? What do we want the Specky to be? Do we want it to be an all-day Christmas party, fun with festivities? Do we want it to be a competition we campaign for all year? Like, we could easily just take out the picks part of it because it essentially doesn't really matter now at all. But I think we all still like the idea of draft picks, right? Um, so then we need a way to pick those people. Okay, cool. Well, we've always done a committee. The committee person just dropped out on, somewhat short notice this year. So now I stepped up. I think it'll end up working as well. But if you don't have 5 people who care about it, then what's the point? And then the day of the Specky, how much do we want? It's not like, do we want to do the attire rating thing with Specky? I don't think I do anymore. I don't think I care. I'm gonna wear what I wear, and I'm gonna like what I wear regardless. I don't really care what everyone else thinks this season. It's gonna be, and if everyone else did vote, it's been proven to be in the nines regardless. Um, so I think, do I really need to sit there for 2 hours when I could be spending time with everybody? We could be doing something completely different. Tallying up votes on who had the best costume. Wear what you wear. Wear the best thing you can put together. And as long as you like it, that should be all that matters. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. I've kind of changed my perspective on a lot of things spectacular related. Even with plates. That's a fun straight up competition, and I'm not going to stop anybody from competing. I think we're going to count plates this season. Um, but if you don't want to, you don't have to, and it may have an effect on your draft. It definitely could because we're still looking for people that are going to go out there and do damage on game day. But I still think what people need to realize, and I've said for a long time, is nothing matters more than Christmas cheer. And I think I'm going to try to give the game plan. I'm going to try to be a blueprint of that this year. I don't think I'm going to have the most plates. But I think I'm gonna have the most cheer, and I think anyone would be remiss not to pick me, whoever's committee next year, if there is a committee next year, if we do draft picks next year.
There's a lot to unpack there. Frankly, we don't have time to do that on this show.
No, I got all night.
But you know, I do too is the worst part. I just don't think our listeners do.
No, sure. I hope not.
And let me tell you, we have a lot of film left to get to.
Yeah. All right. Fired up, baby.
Um, wow. Okay. Well, almost before I forget, there could be something to be said for the competition happens in the campaign, and the day of is kind of for having fun.
I think that's a good way of looking at it. That's kind of how it's always been. When yeah, I completely agree. I think that's how it should be. I think we should bring back campaigns, and that should be how you get drafted. And but you also have to have a good performance on draft day. But everyone, we're at the point where everyone
Everyone
knows how
shows
to
up and
have.
performs on the day of, I think.
Yes, it hasn't always been that way. Like it's changed. Like it took a couple of years, and maybe it'll keep changing. But we're at the point where difference between me and even a guy like Savallo. I mean, who had great performances last year? Me, you, Savallo, Yuletide, Polar Bear, Madness, Dan. God, anyone I left out, that's gonna feel really shitty. Candy Cane, like
How
literally
was
the
Mike co-MVP?
yeah, right. He had a great showing last year, so it's like I don't know, like everyone's gonna ball out the day of the spectacular, and I think they would do that whether or not the spectacular was Judgment Day. And I think it should just be kind of like you balled out or you didn't ball out. We all know who balled out and didn't ball out. Like no one's gonna pick Jingle Ball Johnny fucking first on accident.
Oh, Jingle Ball Johnny. I hope you're not.
No offense to the kid, but it's like no one's gonna accidentally be like, oh, I forgot what Jingle Bell Johnny did because we didn't keep stats.
I had to.
You
I
know,
forgot that he was there. Frankly.
that's all I'm saying. I love Jingle Ball Johnny. He's not there to go first. He's there to have a good time. I hope he did. You know what I'm saying? No, nobody's gonna pick Mike Johnson first next year. Unless he has unless he showed, but like no one's gonna pick Mike Johnson first this year, because he's not campaigning and he did nothing at last year's draft.
Imagine if he did though. Him and Justin.
Imagine if he did, he's not off the table.
I think this is something that we have to remember to talk about at the town hall because we could be onto something here.
I think that's the way to go.
This is why you break down film, folks. You find out things.
100%.
All right, so getting back into the film, let's look at this intro a little bit. So we have it looks like an arena, maybe WWE or UFC event.
Yeah.
Followed by some Coach Christmas. This has always been a specialty of yours. These intro graphics. You always come up with some fire ones. Pun intended.
Uh-huh.
um, I'm sorry, that was awful.
That was terrible.
So yeah, I just want to shout you out for that. And if you ever wanted to teach me, frankly, for this video, I'm gonna need to come up with that.
Sure. Yeah, I'll cook a little something up. You listen, whatever you folks saw before this video, just know it was courtesy of your coach.
Let them know. All right, so now let's look at your walk in here. We got the head down, the hood up. Who is this? We might not even know who this is, frankly, yet.
I think the people are curious.
Emerging out of the dark room. Belt over the shoulder, classic form. The lift of the head. Let's look at this lift of the head here. Doesn't get it all the way up. It's still kind of looking down at you, kind of asserting dominance and a little bit of a glare. It's a number one pick right there. He knows he's a champ. And then here it is.
Yeah.
And here comes the McGregor. Let's look at the McGregor. Okay. How do you feel your McGregor was there?
I think it was good. I was also at the same time trying to get the belt down to the wrist, as you see, and it leads to a very seamless, pull up of the belt. So it was kind of Oh, and then we got real excited. But as you see, the belt will already be in the hand here. Yeah, now it's down. Boom.
It's not a
Not
bad.
also gonna mention if you could scroll back a little. I don't have a lot of room to work with in that door frame. If I got any wider with my McGregor, I'm taking out the Middle East.
Oh yeah, look how close your wrist is to making contact.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I did what I could with the space that I had.
Okay. I've seen better McGregors out of you, but circumstances considered, I'll give you like a B plus A minus on it.
Okay, I'll take that.
Solid. But then this is really where you get that fist pump. And I mean this is this is some energy, some excitement. I want to see somebody put out a video with this type of
Yeah.
getting in there. I tried to bring this in my campaign opening. I don't know if I can match it.
Oh, for sure. There was energy. Your first one, it had some real energy to it.
So this is great, and I'm pretty sure I don't think you can. For some reason, when I do this, the volume isn't working. But you're hearing some claps. You always have the claps going. It seems like you get a good audience for these. Where are
Oh,
all these
listen, I don't even
people?
have to edit those
How do
in.
you fit all these people into your basement? I've always wondered.
I can't get rid of them, honestly. I can't get rid of them.
That's fair. Uh, and they're chanting MVP at you, if you recall. Deafening
Yeah,
chants of MVP.
definitely.
As we're gonna see in some film later on, actually, though, you've been quoted as saying the MVP doesn't matter to you. Uh,
No,
so
matters to the
your
fans.
fans, would you say you have uneducated fans that they're chanting at you?
Listen, my fans are passionate. I think it was almost a play on the thing. They know how much the award means to other people, and then I ended up winning the award. It's like, oh my God, MVP, MVP, and I'm like, oh my God.
I
I don't
I don't
know.
know. Looking at you in this video, you're telling them to bring it on louder, louder, louder.
Oh yeah, listen, I'm aware that I am still as little as I care about the award and as much of a, I don't want to say joke, but as meaningless as the award has become, I am still the first
What
winner
does
of it.
that mean?
I mean, what? Yeah, I said what I
You
said.
want to elaborate, Mr. Christmas Cheer?
No, it's nothing against Christmas cheer. I think it's a fun award. It was an award created.
Well, it just sounds like you could have been making an attack on me and Cal.
No, no, it was an award that was created so that other people could win something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Personally, actually, I would get rid of MVP. I think it's kind of I don't know
It's
that
a fan vote. It's a fan vote.
yeah.
I mean, it's
I
it's
don't know if it
Gold
causes
Glove
more
esque.
drama than it's worth sometimes.
I think last year put it to bed. I just don't think anyone. I don't know. I just don't know. Like, I didn't mind last year's. I was fine with it. Maybe some people were upset. I liked how last year's worked. I think you and Cal both had really good performances. I think, honestly, Cal had he was very valuable to the spectacular, and so were you. So that's what I'm saying. It's a fine award. But it's not my number one goal. Like, I don't think about it. Like, I
Number
was
one,
happy.
that's what you were pointing in this video.
Number one. That's all. That's all I care about.
All right, all right. Just
And I will be going number one again next year.
1 year run as a committee. Is this a premature retirement?
I think so.
All
I think
right.
so.
I want you to get back in there because, frankly, I hate to say it, I don't know who else is challenging me out there. I don't know.
Yeah, unless I see something really change and the players need me.
I've still been waiting for me and you to have our epic battle, really campaign off against each other.
I think next year could be the year. I gave everybody a year to catch up. I'm taking it easy at this year's spectacular. I think next year is the year where people will be able to catch me, and I don't know if they will or not, but at least there'll be a real case to be made.
And I hate to tell you, peoples, as of now, I'm saving some bullets for next year because I'm not feeling threatened yet. I mean, Madness is obviously, I think, had a better campaign than me. But, if you're looking at the resume of the performances, I feel comfortable enough that I need to do something to keep up with him. But, I don't, the people that have enough experience to really challenge me, I don't know
No, there's been almost nothing out of them except for Liam.
except for Liam.
And listen, I would say, it's kind of like a UFC reference here. Don't leave it to the judges. Don't leave it to the judges.
Don't
Make
leave
it
it to the
obvious.
judges. Yeah.
And,
But
and
I would
any a
love to
lot
put a person
anyone
in
could
the
do
field.
that right now.
I would
Anyone
love
could
to
do
do
that
that.
right now.
All right, so we're gonna come back to this when we look at a video of yours later on. It's just gonna be interesting to note the MVP chance and all right. Oh, and then this is curious. Usually you come out, you're a big get dressed up for these conferences. You're here in a pretty raggedy sweats and a cutoff. Any explanation there?
Well, I was a fighter this year.
All right, yes, I know.
This was people didn't know yet, but I would go on to be a boxer after this. So this was me hinting to everybody that I would end up being a boxer, I believe. Unless I had already done it.
I think this was the year after you got it. Yeah, this was last year's kickoff.
Okay, well then I was still in the character of a boxer. This was last year's kickoff.
I think.
Wow. Yeah, I mean,
And
Looks like
and
about right.
is that a little bit of cock we're seeing?
A little bit of it.
I'll tell you, brother, that's something. It's
It's not nothing.
it's a little,
Thank
a
God
little
for that.
bob there.
Yeah, that's all it
Makes
is.
me wanna give it a twist.
Yeah, I mean it looks grabbable, which is more than I usually get.
Where are we sitting weight wise on here?
I can't tell. I feel like I'm at it looks a little. I look very muscular. I feel like. Um, I don't know. I can't tell. I know I'm not thin.
No, no. I haven't seen you in a couple weeks, so I don't know where you're at right now, but might be a few pounds below where you're at.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm, hmm.
I'm
Well,
hoping to be surprisingly thinner by the time you see me.
199, I've heard by the Specky. I don't know.
Well, by the Specky, by the
Thanksgiving,
Specky.
I'm not sure where you're gonna be.
Yeah, we're hoping for under 300.
Oh, and how convenient! The very video I wanted to come up next is what we have.
Wow, when I tell you I forgot this video existed.
This is probably gonna be one of your lower moments on our film.
Higher moments.
Okay,
I took the high ground.
we'll have to discuss that on the film breakdown. So let's take a look at it.
It's a bad moment for everybody else. It's a black eye on the Specky.
It was between Leif, obviously, Zeke, and Justin.
Can we scroll back a little more? I think we started from like 5 seconds in. It might have been wrong.
Three-way tie between.
It was between Leif, obviously, Zeke, and Justin.
Wow.
Right?
I don't want this. I want this.
Well,
you guys fucked up. You could have voted Justin. Wow. I went Zeke.
Apparently no one went me. I'm running out of things to say here. I've come up here quite a few times. I want to thank everybody for an incredible night. This award really means nothing. Yeah, I just want to say thank everyone
Asshole.
for an amazing night. Thank
Means
you.
nothing.
It's
Eh.
great.
Wow,
Brutal. Brutal.
that's tough to watch.
It is really tough to watch. I think it. Can we play the clip again?
Let's give it another listen.
I'll walk you through it if you could put it on like a low volume, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get too techie here for you, But I could talk over it, worst case.
Who was the three-way tie between?
Start here. I'm in a
It
good
was
mood.
between-
But at this point, I still don't think I have much to say. You got to remember, at this point in the night, I had already gone up and done a whole speech.
You're a few speeches in. I feel. Like.
I'm a few speeches in. I have lost words to say. So that's where
And
we're
we
at.
are all exhausted and like.
It's been way too long. Everyone's pissed that I won another fucking award. It's like I didn't even want to go up there and accept the fucking thing. Keep rolling.
Leif, obviously, Zeke, and Justin.
Wow.
Right?
Yep. So just pause it if you don't mind. So before I get up there, they go and they ask the other who. I didn't just win, it was a tie and it went to the electoral and blah, blah, blah. So we're already setting the stage a little bit, which is fine, which is totally fine. Again, this award means, very, 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 very little to me. But we're already setting the stage. I'm like, okay. And I'm still trying to think of something to say. So I'm about to get into my speech. And then this happens.
I don't want this. I want this.
Well,
you guys fucked up. You could have voted Justin.
Pause.
I went Zeke.
Now, you guys fucked up. You could have went for Justin. First off, I don't even know what that means. Well, I guess because the electoral college could have picked Justin.
Yeah, I think
And that would have been adorable.
Justin.
Right, and that would have been adorable. I think you could tell King was he was expecting to win. I don't think, he asked who the three-way tie was between, and I don't think his name even got said.
I think me, you, and Justin were the only three ones to get votes, if I even remember.
Yeah, so I think the King was caught off guard that he didn't even get a vote for MVP. So he was a little agitated. And then I don't know if Liam wants to, or if he was just casually saying who he voted for. Everyone casually starts saying who they vote for. And none of them, and no one's like, I voted for the coach, which is fine. Again, I don't really care, but it's just like,
I was one of the ones who voted for you somehow.
yeah, you have good taste. But it was just like, at this point, all the momentum is killed. You'll see, I make a good joke. I kind of said it jokingly, well, apparently nobody voted for me or something like that. And crowd went dead silent. Not a single laugh out of the group. So at this point, I'm struggling. I'm like, all right, well, that didn't fucking go over well. I'm just gonna wrap this up. I'm ready to go back to my couch, and we'll let that go.
Apparently no one but me. I'm running out of things to say here. I've come up here quite a few times. I want to thank everybody for an incredible night. This
Thankful.
award really means nothing.
This award
then-
means nothing.
It really, it really. What does it mean? What does it really mean? Do you know what it means?
I think it
Define
means
it.
people appreciated what you did for them that day.
But nobody in that crowd, apparently.
And that's the wild part, is how did you win MVP with the way people reacted to you?
Right.
That's
So
my
it's
takeaway
like,
from this video is how the hell did, because people were not happy that you won MVP, but they voted for
I
you.
had never seen a crowd of people just vote somebody for something and then be so upset when he got up there. So it just,
And
I no longer wanted to win it. I didn't even care. It was, I mean, it was terrible. And I mean, I would have been so fine with anybody else winning. I would have given him a big standing O. And I think everyone else was ready to do that as well. So when I won again, it was just like, fuck, man. Somebody else win something. And I get that. That's why I said this award means nothing to me. I had said leading up to it that the MVP means nothing to me because I didn't think people would vote for me. Because why would you? I'll never win another MVP again. I'll never win another MVP again. I'm surprised I won once. That really goes to show the people who did vote for me a very good moral character. Because that means they truly voted for who they thought was best. If you voted, I mean, Justin got how many votes? Those were throwaway votes, let's be honest, for the most part. I mean, he did a great job, but he showed up late and didn't even have an actual costume. Barely ate. It's like, say what you want to say. But he was electric. It was electric stuff. They were throwaway votes. Anyone in their right mind. I mean, I think Dan and Liam voted for Justin. Something like that, right?
yeah,
Or Dan voted for Zeke, maybe. I don't fucking know.
I think he said
Again,
he voted for me, but I think he actually voted for Justin or something along those lines.
something like that.
Oh.
Otherwise, how would Justin have made it in there? So they both threw away their votes, which is fine, whatever. Or it was their actual opinion, which is fine. All I was saying, and I would have said anyways, was that this award means nothing to me, which is, I think, what a lot of MVPs say. Like, if you're an MVP player in basketball or baseball and you don't win the World Series, you say, "Oh, this is a personal award. It doesn't mean anything to me. The goal is the World Series." That's all I meant by it.
All right, well, that's
People
good
didn't, but
clarification.
then I couldn't even say that. Like, I think it would have sat better if Dan right after didn't say it means nothing.
I
It
was.
means nothing.
I'll give you that because at first I was like, "That's beautiful. This is a coach who knows it's bigger than him."
That's all I meant.
It got twisted. The one thing I'll say,
Pretzel job.
is the only thing that makes me question that is the way you come out the next time you see it in public in the spectacular with deafening MVP chants and you encouraging them.
That's the crowd. They were excited. Like, I finally come home. That's like when you win. I won the finals on enemy turf. Even though I'm in my own basement, I'm in enemy turf. I come home to my home arena, and the fans let me know that they voted for me.
Seems like a shot at Logan. Is that like that's?
No. I mean, I don't think Logan was there for this. I think Lars was. I think Lars voted for me. You don't hear Lars in this video. You don't hear Zeke in this video. There's some good eggs in there that you don't hear from. I think Justin voted for me or something like that. There was a silent majority that voted for your coach that day. And again, I'll always go back to it. If you look at the electoral committee, everyone in the electoral committee who didn't have stake in the race voted for me. So it was a runaway MVP. A runaway MVP.
Well, I don't know if it was a runaway.
It was a runaway.
Go to the old committee.
It did. But they all voted for me.
I think this sheds some light on a tough moment, and I will say, a worse man than you this situation could have really devolved into something
For
problematic.
sure. No, I mean, listen, I think I handled it. I stepped down and, listen,
got out-
I said
you
my
got in,
piece.
You got out.
That was it.
I would say moving forward, practice what you preach. If you're gonna say the MVP means nothing, maybe next year don't come out to deafening chants and waving them on.
I can't control what my fans say.
You
I can't control it.
waving them on. You were liking it. You were encouraging it. That's all.
I found it funny, I found it
coaching.
funny.
You're my player today, coach. I'm coaching you up. I'm just telling you what I see. I see great potential for you. I think you did a lot of good things in this video. I think that's the one thing I could have seen improvement. Because if as a coach you're telling people one thing and then doing another, they're gonna listen to what you do and not what you're saying. So I want to
Listen, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter to me. It matters to the fans. I'm happy for the fans. It doesn't matter to me. I would tell those fans it doesn't matter to me. If they come out and chant MVP next time I win it, put on them. I'm not going to stop them.
Maybe you hit him with the old shush. Yeah.
Little this, little that. I was fired up. I was fired up.
Oh, and I understand, but as a veteran, I think you could handle your emotions better next time. But impressive stuff. All right, now this is going to be my favorite film of the night. Let's just sit back and take a watch.
Sure.
Do we think there's sound or not yet?
I don't know. I don't remember.
No, there is, because I watched this the other day. It should be sound. Okay. There we go. All right, let's just back out of that. Get back in there.
Oh, we got a ways to go, huh?
I really would like the sound to work again. Oh, I know.
Maybe it comes in later.
No, fucking what? All right, I'm just gonna X out of Twitter and come back. See the video, you know that sound. Okay. This is somewhat frustrating.
And your volume's up.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So I'm gonna just redo this here. Sorry, folks. You had to know this was coming.
Start your campaigns.
Oh, there we go. You can hear that, right?
Sure can.
Here we go. Brother, what exactly was supposed to be on 11/27/20?
I think I say it quite clearly. A musical experience like no other.
When that
I'll be
day
damned if you found another like it.
is that what that was all along? The old bait and switch?
Have you seen another one like it since?
I certainly haven't seen one like it, frankly.
Thank you. Thank you. For everyone, I don't know what everyone's like. Oh, he promised a
Kanye-
song. He promised an
Kanye's
album.
kinda tried to do something, maybe, give the people
What'd you say?
maybe out of Kanye, but even he eventually is
Sure. Yeah, he's given it years later. I mean, people say, "Oh, I promised an album. I promised a song. I promised a musical experience like no other on November 27th, 2020." And I'd be damned if I didn't give that.
I would argue though that you didn't give a musical experience. There was
How do you know? How do you know
I-
I did that day?
you
I could have been I could have been in my backyard singing fucking my heart out.
You could have, but you didn't present it.
That wouldn't be,
Be in
that'd
the
be like every
spirit.
other one if I put it on Twitter. You had to be there. Like if everyone, like you should have been next to me that day.
Are you gonna come on here and tell me with a straight face, truthfully, that that's what you were doing?
I was giving a musical experience like no other that day. Yes.
Can you? I really want you to put in words exactly what that was.
Think of everything musically that you have experienced up to this point in your life, and there's no other thing quite like what you would have experienced if you were there that day.
I've actually experienced it most days in which I don't. Well, there's just no music. There's just nothing. There was no experience.
Well, you weren't there for it.
Yeah, there's lots of musical experiences I'm not there for though. Like it's like I
But
have
you
a
don't know what they
musical
are.
experience of singing in the shower every day, and I hope you've never experienced it.
Sure haven't. But if I did, that'd be a musical experience like no other for me.
Okay. You see how people thought you were dropping an album though. Like let's
No,
go back.
no, not at all. I'd be curious.
Let's look at this. We have you writing down things.
Am I?
This was such a well done video, by the way. I just have to say it. Like,
Thank
I
you.
mean, I don't know what this start is, but it gets you going. And then the way you just the casual. This is just like the creepy vibe, like the fight. It almost feels like
Well,
there's
everyone after this expected a some kind of album or something. It's like, no.
like you were. It looked like you were writing songs. What are you writing here?
God knows.
I hope for his sake he doesn't. Frankly, I can't even imagine. You're tuning. You're getting in the studio here. What is this?
That would look like I'm about to record something.
You see how people got the impression that you were recording, and
Who's to say I didn't record something?
if you recorded something, we'd love to experience it,
I bet you would.
like no other. It says.
Like no other. And I think I gave that to the people.
Well, I'm here today, Coach. Your ghost is here today with an offer for you.
Okay.
You are the man I think you are.
Okay.
The man of the people, the man of campaigns, of Christmas spirit, of effort, of having time, of giving a shit about the spec, of giving a shit about Christmas. Get on board with your ghost and let's give the people a musical experience no other, and let's give it to them on November 27th of 2023. Let's
Wow.
right now shake hands, and we're gonna put together a musical experience like no other.
I'm down. I'm down for that.
Let's get in there, brother. That's it, folks. You heard it here first. A musical experience like no other from your coach and his ghost coming this November 27th, 2023.
Wow.
Be ready.
Wow. I hope it can live up to the last one I did.
I'll tell you, I can't imagine it falls short.
I mean, it was a hell of an experience for those who experienced it.
All right, let's we'll go away from videos a little bit. We have some pictures here. This one goes back to a trip you took down to
Sure
Alabama.
does.
First off, for the longest time, I thought that you were completely lying on this one, but it did turn out that you actually were in Alabama, correct?
Sure was. Sure was. I don't lie about anything in my campaign. Not a single thing. There are people in my basement. I was in Alabama. People were coming up to me. They're going, "Oh my God, you're my favorite coach." I said, "Please stop. You guys have a great coach." They're like, "No, Saban's got nothing on you." I said, "Stop it. Me and Saban, you know."
Well, let's take actually a little look at this picture. So, because it appears to be you as the head coach of Alabama taking over for Nick Saban.
Yeah. Yep.
There's something going on with your neck.
Yeah, a fan actually had sent this to me.
Okay. So is this
Yeah.
actually you or was this a Photoshop? I'm curious.
No, this is like what this was something they were saying. They were, I think Alabama had lost a game, and they were saying the coach that Alabama needs or something like that, and it
Oh,
was
okay.
trending on social media for a little bit because how much apparently I'm revered in Alabama. When I made the trip down there, people were showing me this post left and right. I'm like, oh, I'll throw that up on the Twitter.
How does that make you feel? Because as a coach, when I look at Alabama, you obviously recognize their greatness, but they're also pretty hated. They're one of the most hated programs out there, usually by people that aren't their own personal fans. So how do you feel about that?
I mean, listen, I have no allegiance or alliance with Alabama. I'm a fan of the people of Alabama. I'm a fan of Nick Saban. I'm a fan of the, Roll Crimson Tide. Um, but I mean, I've had other, just the other day, I got sent by some friend of mine in Louisiana. He sent me a meme, when like, I was doing an LSU coach. It was like all over the place. I've seen myself in USC, all this stuff. So
So
it's
you more
fun.
associate with the coaching aspect of it than with the reputation of the program.
Yeah, it's just that I'm a coach, I think.
Okay, that's very
So I was in San Francisco one time and they were sending me pictures of me on a coach bus. I was on a coach bus. It
coach
was the
boss.
coach bus. Yeah, it was so that was cool.
When now if someone was to ride you, would you tell them that they're going for a ride on the coach bus?
Yeah, sure would. All
Okay.
aboard the coach bus.
So Jen, if you're listening and
Yeah.
who you are, let us
You
know
got it.
what it's like
Jen's listening to this.
what it's like to ride the coach bus.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
all right, so I had something else to say, but now I've been thrown off.
The coach bus threw you for a little bit of a yeah.
That's not what I wanted to think about, frankly.
Great people of Alabama.
No, that's what I was gonna say. How do you feel about being a so? Because there's a certain type of person that we Alabama something is a song. Um,
Yeah.
how do you feel about that?
I mean, listen, they need heroes too. And I hope I can pave the way for,
That's that's that's
for
that's
everyone in Alabama.
very touching. Okay. All right. Well, now this is on a you know we've talked about this a little bit. Your stats. This I thought was just you did a great job for me summarizing your historical stats.
I
So
mean, yeah. What else do you need to say, man? I mean, most plates all time, highest attire. I have the largest plate lead, so I have the most plates eaten all time. The all-time cumulative, I have the highest cumulative attire grade. It's insane. Sadly, I wasn't even given a grade this year. Um, I would have liked to have been graded. I think I definitely would have had an A plus. It was a crazy year out of me last year. 7.5 plates. It was insane. We've never seen dominance quite like that. And the 9.6 attire. I didn't see that coming. I mean, holy shit. I was a little nervous about my attire going into the day. It came out better than I could have even hoped, especially on game day. But damn. Also, 221 views is just absolutely absurd. It's absolutely absurd.
that's wild.
Yeah, that's concerning. But that's your coach. And it
Yeah,
also shows you how much different things were this time last year.
it doesn't say that on any of the others.
I don't think they started counting views till a certain date.
Okay. God bless. Yeah, that's
So,
actually very concerning. Either somebody in the Specky family is doing things I don't want to think about to this picture, or there's
yeah, and granted, I'm probably 220 of them.
yeah, I might be 40 of them because I scrolled through your feed about 30 times yesterday. But
Stay up, piece of hair. Thank you. Yeah, that was rude. You don't have that problem?
I've been trying to do the Leafy hair thing, but it doesn't really get me
No.
5 years ago, and it would have been we would
Yeah, for
we would have had some competition for who had the better hair back in the day.
yeah.
Um,
Yep. Yeah.
Can't. Yeah. All right. So back to you.
Okay.
Your ghost is leading this tour. Okay, where you can't see me. I'm a ghost. You can't see me.
No.
Shout out Johnson. This basically like you know at the end of the day, this is when you look at your film, this is what you see. The
Yeah.
greatest ever do it in the spectacular family.
Wow.
And it's heavy shoes that I've stepped into this year as the new coach, so to speak. And I bear this burden heavily because it's, I mean, most everything, best everything. Look at this man, the face of the spectacular. That's terrifying. Wow.
That's the face of the Specky.
The question is, should it be the second A+ in spectacular history? Let's take a look, folks.
Yeah, I think it has to be.
Now, I had asked for this from Leif yesterday, actually, and he didn't send it to me till we had started the pod. So I'll have this put out, hopefully, in I'm losing words again, brother.
In the future, end of the week,
Yes,
weekend.
yes, I'll
Okay.
send it out written format. But we'll just go through this looking at, man, Candy Cane. You are a sexy man. Anybody else a little
Extremely handsome.
That's, I mean, what a picture. Holy shit. Candy Cane. Damn. Good for you, man. All right. So we'll go through the ratings and then I'll give you a little paragraph about how I feel about it.
Okay.
All right. So eating, I mean, that's 5 Christmas trees.
5.
That's nothing to say there. Attire, 5 Christmas trees, nothing to say there. Cheer, I mean, we saw the videos. We saw you bringing it. No, you got to scream, you got to shout, you let it all out. Hopefully, not all of it. I don't want to see that.
That one does.
But I mean, there's a reason you're coaching us. You're rallying the troops. You know, you know Bruce Bochy out there just waddling around. Great coaching style. But you're really getting in there, getting after it.
No Bruce Bochy.
No Bruce Bochy.
That's the understatement of the podcast.
I'd say like a Lou Pinello would be a great comp on you.
Sure.
You're bringing that cheer. You're bringing it.
Yeah.
It might not be up everybody's alley, but you're bringing it.
Yep.
Certainly 5 stars. There.
Wow.
And Slate, that all adds up to 5. That's 5 Christmas trees on every category, folks.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But it should be no surprise. So if I just have to off the cuff here come up with a paragraph here, Coach Christmas, he exhibits an ability to eat way more food than a human being should be able to eat in an hour and a half. And this ability might be part natural, but there's other members of the Specky that have quite great God-given talents and haven't matched him. So there's a level.
See, can you tell the fine people what I ate before the spectacular last year? Do you remember?
7.5 plates, brother, I believe.
No, the night before the spectacular.
Oh, the night before the spectacular, we did something egregious, didn't we?
We sure did. We were in my room.
Oh, we ordered. Oh, it was 2 a.m. and was it Fridays? We ordered Fridays.
Applebee's.
We had the Applebee's. It was like but you had like 2 or 3 full meals. I feel like out of it too.
Yeah, I had an appetizer and then I had the 4 cheese mac and cheese with honey pepper chicken.
Yes,
Bodied the entire thing.
the 4 cheese mac is probably the heaviest thing Applebee's has going for it too.
Yeah. Yeah, we were watching UFC. I think I won a lot of money that night.
You won a lot of money. We were up till far too late. I believe we also went to like the Mount for dinner before that.
Yeah, we did the Mount, and then I got home and I was still hungry. I don't know if you ended up getting anything, but I got the 4 cheese mac and cheese.
No, I was saving up for the next day. So this shows I believe the second or third, depending on who you ask, plates, and I had to save. Trust me, I was coming in on an emptier stomach than your coach.
Yeah.
So that's phenomenal. When it comes to Christmas cheer, I mean, no one exhibits it quite like Leif, because what really stands out with the cheer for him is not just his own cheer, but the way he brings it out of others. That is truly incredible. So that's really where he's a 5-star in the cheer. When it comes to creativity, this isn't on here. If there was one area where creativity, that might be 4.5, because the one thing that I'll say for Leif on the day of, nobody more creative, costumes and the like. His campaigns, he's never really been challenged enough. He tends to do some leeching, but I will say, looking back at the film, I forgot just how much he did.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're still making that case after we've sat here dissecting about 6 hours of film.
Yeah, so even I would even go 5 stars on creativity if
Yeah.
I was doing it at the end of the day, because
Wow.
I was more impressed than I remembered on Leif's campaigning. Just the energy of his videos and the production quality blew me away. So really, there's nothing further to say other than see how he does as a committee. You have a big rep as a player to live up to.
Yeah.
So that's yeah. And at the end of the day, for last year, it's an A. It's an A grade. I'm not going to give you the A plus. I'm going to give you the A. Because I do think when you look at it, the costume was not. I don't remember if you were the highest, but there was a few other people I'd say that were.
Sure was. 9.6.
I
Highest
thought
of all time.
I thought Polar Bear, Larzy got in there with the costume win.
You were second.
Okay, I was second. Okay, all right. Ooh, that's close. Because if you had the most eating and the best costume
And it was most eating by a landslide.
by a landslide and the all-time record,
And I
and
could only do so much better of a costume. I'm 0.4 away from absolute
certainly had the
perfection.
year. It was the best performance ever. Screw it. Fuck it. A plus for the coach.
Thank you. There's no getting better than what I did last year. It won't be. This year I will not do as good as I did last year.
A plus for the coach.
But I have a job to do when I'm there this weekend. When I'm there, whatever weekend it is. I'm there to be a committee member that day.
So
Wow,
that's
we still got more.
oh,
Well, that was it.
no, plenty more. All right,
Oh no, you got more, huh?
plenty more. Yeah, I was gonna end on that, but that turned out to be in the middle. I apologize.
That's fine. We can end
right,
on that.
the ones that we could.
Oh, up to you. I didn't realize what you meant. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Originally, I just had forgotten the order. I was going to do that.
Right.
It's okay. This is a quick one. I was going. I have an admission to make, folks. I plagiarized apparently. Leif did a coach's corner last year,
Sure
and
did.
I thought I was coming up with something completely original when I said on Monday that I was doing the coach's corner. And
I
then
like that.
prepping for this episode, this is like one of the first things I saw, and I was like, I just had no memory of you doing a coach's corner. And then I went back and I was like, oh, that's right. I even made an appearance on it.
You were on an episode.
I think the second episode I was on.
I think so. I think it went you, Candy Cane, you, Lars, and then Justin or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Only a few episodes because then the
Yeah.
draft picks started getting crazy. But
Yeah. So I
yeah,
think like this was like a crazy time last year.
yeah.
I don't know how like you all might not believe me, but I genuinely thought I was coming up with something new. But I guess that shows you when you have a name like Coach's Corner kind of goes.
Yep, sure does.
Two great minds thinking alike. I'm also
Yep.
more than moderately retarded, clearly.
Yep, sure. Same.
So
Same here.
Not really much more to say on that. Just thought that was kind of funny. I want to take a look at this here, because I actually was off Twitter when you made this, so I just saw this for the first time the other day. You had already released grades before you released them again as the committee.
Yeah.
And actually, I think if we can compare, they're going to end up being a little bit different. I'm going to pull up on my laptop actually so I can see it. I'm not going to share the screen because that's too much for me to figure out.
I can look. I think I basically know. They are definitely different. I think you had an A. Mistletoe had an Yuletide had an A. And who else had it? I think I also gave Dan an A.
I'm pulling it up.
Then I gave Mistletoe an A minus, I think. Yeah. But I mean this I think what this takes away is the
All right, so
important.
I had me, Dan, and Joe all had A minus. Mistletoe,
Yeah.
Madness had a B, Liam had a B minus, and Savalo had a B plus.
Okay. Yeah, and then obviously,
So
this,
basically,
this
you knocked me down from an A to an A minus. Uh, Savalo down from an A minus to a B plus, and Liam from a B to a B minus, and Madness from a B plus to a B. So you knocked everyone down half a grade except Joe and Dan.
yeah, and again, I mean, these were my grades. I'm not I think people forget I'm not the entire committee.
Oh,
That
so
was the
that's you
committee's
mean
grades.
okay. So your grades actually stay the same, but it was then Cal's.
And listen, they could have changed. Like, I could have gone back, looked at the stats with clear eyes, and then came to those decisions. But I know me and Cal did have some discrepancies in drafts, and then, and then we averaged them out.
Well, I think this is interesting for the people to see, just to get. It's always, I think, grades, especially a fresh viewpoint on it, is important. This
Well,
was,
that was originally the point of grades, was so that we had a fresh
yeah,
idea in our head.
this
So
was
I
made,
can't even go back to think of where, I can't think of where I was on this day.
yeah.
And same thing, this is with me as an A plus. My A plus never came out. So by that, I kind of dropped everybody else, I think, also. Or everybody else kind of gets dropped without my A plus in there. Because then you
Um,
have to assume I'm just an A.
well, I think
But
we agreed about the A plus.
I mean, I would agree.
This is just
But I,
interesting to see.
yeah,
I would like to point out that
I mean,
well, in the draft competition this year, there's a name that stands out at the top, and I don't think that name.
yeah, no, sure is. And I think, listen, we've said it for quite some time. You have all the skill in the world. It's really been a character thing in recent pasts, and the character's been off the charts this year. So, uh, as long as the campaign stays good, character stays in line. I mean, you're a force to be reckoned with for that number one spot. But there's a lot of, I mean, you see, you're an A, but a lot of guys right there in that A minus B plus category. So,
Oh no, for sure. It's a great quality competition. Just thought that was interesting there. All right, moving on. We have a little tweet here. I'll read it for everybody. Um, just read Bethlehem's message. I'm extremely sorry. Actually, I'll let you read your own tweet.
just read Bethlehem's message. I am extremely sorry to all of my fellow players, especially Polar Bear Larzi. He made it very clear he would accept the pick. He made it very clear he would accept the pick. And the lawyer glove regarding character change makes no sense either. I'm very sorry. I will try and make this right.
All right. So the reason I wanted to put this on the film is I thought this was a great example of Leif's actions as a coach. This was you as a coach standing up for some of your players that you felt were wrong. This was the controversial decision by the committee last year not to pick me or Lars. And you stood up for your players. You went out on a limb. You took a risk, and as a coach, you put your neck out on the line. And I thought that was admirable. And this is as the ghost of your coach. This is the type of coach I'm trying to be for my players. So I just wanted to give you a shout out on that.
Oh, I do appreciate it. Yeah, I know last year there was a lot of really the biggest problem that everyone had last year was there was a lack of communication. Um, And I know at times things did get more heated than they needed to be, and people were mad, but people do take it seriously. And I think this seriousness that people take the Specky is part of what made it so fun. And I think we're missing how seriously people took it. But unfortunately, you know, people in charge, not that they didn't want to take it that seriously, but they didn't want it affecting them personally. So I still want people to take it seriously. I want people to be mad or upset at decisions I make if they're mad and upset at them. But I think I can separate, my spectacular life and work from real life and work. I don't think that'll be hard to do. Um, yeah, so I don't know. I think people were just confused at last year. It was a confusing year. Last year's campaign season towards the end just got to be way too much. It was too confusing. People were confused. People were retiring, unretiring, taking picks, not taking picks. So, one of the things I did this year was I got ahead of all of that. Listen, you're either entering the draft pool or you're not entering the draft pool. And so far, we haven't had any problems. Everyone who's in the draft pool, I'd imagine will take a pick, and then Lars Lars knows his role this year, and it seems like he's supporting his good friend Mary Madness. Um, Rob knows his role this year, and he's supporting his brother and kind of just enjoying retirement. So there's just no confusion. And then the people on the draft pool should be campaigning like crazy. Some of them aren't, and that's fine. But if you're in the draft pool, I expect campaigns out of you. That's pretty much it.
Well said, brother. Ooh, diet. Oh.
Yeah, man.
Sorry,
I
sorry.
thought you were having a heart attack.
I was having the withdrawals. I am
Yeah.
soaked with sweat. Let me tell you, being a large man is not easy. All right, let's see what we
The
have.
committee calling on Bethlehem. What's
Oh,
going
wow,
on,
2
everybody?
minutes.
Coach Christmas here. Congratulations, Yuletide Joseph, on the number 2 pick. Could not be more happy for you. I mean, a beacon of Christmas cheer year in, year out, a great member of this spectacular family. Could not be more happy for you, Yuletide. Congratulations. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see a huge performance out of you this year. With, great power comes great responsibility. Number 2, heck of an honor. Hope to see you take a big step up this year and, really show people that they made the right decision here. You have to show that the committee did make the right decision by picking you with this number 2 pick. So I have faith that you will go out and do that for sure. Upon talking to some members of the spectacular family, however, there's a lot of ruffled feathers over this pick, a lot of confusion, and as someone who's already picked, I figured I'd be a voice for these people because no one wants to come out and say the wrong thing at a time like this, right? So I'm going to come out and be a voice of the players here and kind of just relay what I'm hearing, which is there's a lot of confusion about this pick, and there's a lot of confusion about the statement made by King Kringle saying there's a clear statement being made by the committee through this pick. I think a lot of people are trying to figure out what that statement is. Clearly, Joe wasn't on a lot of people's horizons for the number 2 pick necessarily. Not saying he doesn't deserve it by any means, but he wasn't a lot of people's guesses. Let's put it that way. So I think I'm just really calling on the committee, calling on Bethlehem, calling on maybe whoever could answer this question on just to provide some clarity around this pick. Say, hey, here's why we went Yuletide. This is why we liked him. This is why we picked him maybe over other people. This is why we thought he was a good number 2 pick. And I think communication like that would be great from the committee. People have been calling for it for a long time, right? We've heard it all year. And this isn't a situation that we want to spiral into something negative. This is a great moment. It can be a good moment for the committee to come and provide some clarity, issue a statement, congratulate Joe. Obviously, I don't think those kind of things are necessary with me because I think a lot of people understand why I go number 1, right? But I think with a pick like this where, I talk to a lot of members and there's, some really just baffled people. And it's getting a little bit worse than I'd like to see. And going on, everybody? Coach Christmas.
And
You want to finish it off? It's right there.
The Specky in future years. I think just a little bit of communication here, a meet in the middle would be absolutely huge. I get it if they say no, they're not obligated to do so, but I think it'd be huge. And as a coach on behalf of his players, someone who loves the committee, thinks they do the best to make the best decisions, I just think a little bit of a explanation would be huge. So congratulations again, Joe. You completely, you deserve this. This is huge for you. Couldn't be more happy. And to the committee, I'm just asking you to consider it. I know this is a busy time for you guys, so, God bless. Merry Christmas.
I mean, Jesus, man. You want to talk about hitting a nail on the head.
Yeah, this is prophetic. Yeah, so
On multiple fronts. On multiple fronts. One, I said Joe's going to take a big step forward this year. I believe he's able to do that, and he absolutely did. He was an A player this year. He, no one questions that number 2 pick now.
100%.
And I didn't question it this time. All I said, listen, I'm already picked. People are upset. I'm a man of the players. I know people are upset. As someone who can speak freely since I'm already picked, why doesn't the committee just give some clarification before this spirals out of control? And what happened? There was no communication, and things spiraled out of control. It was where the buck could have stopped. They could have really done a lot by putting out a message when I called for it. No one listened. We saw how things ended up. I think it took away from how good of a pick Joe was, and they could have really ran with that. I mean, Joe ended up being a phenomenal pick out of them. But it was just a lack of communication, and that got a lot of people off of what really was a really good pick.
100%. Yeah. So a couple things I really noticed in here. Kind of what I talked about last time, the coach rallying for his players. I think he even said that in there somewhere. As a coach, I wanted to speak up for my players. But more so, something that really interested me here is your call to the committee for clarity. Ended up being the downfall of the previous committee. And yeah, you actually spoke to this already. So we really don't need to discuss it further, but it sounds like that's like been a big emphasis of your times as the committee is to give that clarity.
Yeah, and I think it's nice now that, we can come right to me. You can come right to Cal, and we hear you. We're in there. We're in the group chat. We're active.
You're on this podcast
Well, I'm on this podcast.
as the committee, not the
And
previous
listen, I mean,
was
I
active,
loved
but
when the
then now it's
committee.
the committee.
I miss the Franklin Gregoriuses and all of them. And I think that, there's a world where those people still are going to exist. I mean, I still talk to a lot of those characters every day. Um, it's just,
Is that so?
oh yeah, oh
Brother,
my
have you
God,
been in the ward?
no brother. I mean, Franklin doesn't stop texting me. I got the old committee. It's him from the old committee. Um, I've got Beth's been. I mean, um,
That's
um,
that's something, brother.
yeah,
Good to know you're still in
um.
contact with him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But regardless, it's nice that now we can just, I know I didn't remember making this video, but like I said, clarity is the number one thing that I think could solve almost all of the issues in the spectacular. So that's really all I've done. That's really all I've done. I've had no complaints. I've just been clear. Obviously, I haven't had to make any picks yet, and it's been a down year as far as campaigns, but I haven't had any problems.
I'll give you that. If there's anything you've been as the committee, it's been clear, and I've appreciated it. So
Thank you.
you practice what you preach there. Now we have next up here is something that is another thing that somebody might have plagiarized from you. We're gonna have to break this one down. Let's give it a listen, folks.
It must be getting.
With that being said, I'd like to come and offer up
Coach
to the
Christmas.
stage a back-to-back first overall pick.
I'm going
for the
one.
2021 Breakfast Santa Claus.
I'm going one, Dad.
Coach Christmas.
It must be getting so old. We ain't seen someone else since 2018. But what's the committee supposed to do when I always got the most plates eaten? Plus I'm always best dressed. I make the first part of their job so easy. So what's up with these new rookies? And how come they all think that they should beat me? Well, they better try this year, boy. Cause my attire's been a 9 for 3 straight years, boy. Yeah, I came as the coach, I came as a boxer. I put on my brother when he was the mobster. If he keeps it up, this year might be Costa with his skin tan and his shirt off and the way he feels about Asians. Me and King renew our vows and then we kiss each other's faces. I hate the rumors, hate the bullshit Inspector Icicle investigations. I'm just thinking that my phone should be ringing. No caller ID, I gotta all I care about is Christmas and the specky being fun. Cal's gonna cut the tree down, tackle it when he's done. I guess y'all are out of luck till it's 2031. Well, my son's 13 years old, yeah, somebody should have told you. I'm going one. Yeah, fuck it, I'm going one. I said I'm going one.
That's crazy.
Fuck it, I'm going one. Yeah. I use my trophies as cups to drink. Give me some grapefruit, I need that pink. I need a lot, then take a shit. I'm the greatest coach since Vince, and I'm going one. Fuck it, I'm going one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So much to break down there, man.
Underrated piece of content out of me, I gotta say.
Yeah, I had forgotten about it until I rewatched it, and it was
Yeah,
just
no, it didn't blow up as much as I was hoping.
when did you release it? October 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, it's early. It
But
was
still,
early for that.
I don't. Why didn't that? I think I was still Inspector Icicle when you released this, so I kind of was. I might not have promoted it as much as I otherwise would have.
No, it didn't catch on, but I mean, it's a hell. It stands the test of time.
Well, we're gonna dive in and see if it really does.
Okay.
But before we get there, any accusations of plagiarism going at Madness Matt? I'm going one. He comes out this year with first pick. It's very similar sounding.
Sure, definitely different. But then listen, we're all talking about the same thing there, and I think if anything else, it maybe is a little tip of the cap, a little tip of the cap, and I appreciate that.
And he might be a smart man. He knows you're the committee. A
Might
little,
be.
look at
Yeah,
that.
everyone's tipping the cap. We got the Ghost of Coach. We got this guy doing the same song.
Smart man, smart man. All
Smart
right,
man.
well, let's get into the song itself. Interesting. What's the thought process here? You're starting with, instead of something to you, you're going with your king as the first image we see.
Well, the king here announces that I was the number one pick. So that's kind of where I was going with this. I'm going one.
All right. I like that. You kind of, people don't know where you're going here because it's not even clear yet that this is a song.
And
Like,
I think maybe that's why it didn't do numbies. I didn't catch him in that first frame. I mean, I know it's optimized.
so, all right. First comment. You went with the
Subtitles?
subtitles. There it is. Thoughts on going subtitles?
Listen, I think sometimes you're listening to lyrics and you know, I'm not the best rapper and or singer. So I just wanted to make sure, and I was recording this on a very shitty microphone. So I just wanted to make sure that I had the subtitles up there. It was almost like a sing along if you wanted to.
Okay. And I have to say, this is one of my favorite things about this video was the subtitles.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It was a great call out of you. Because sometimes, I need to give it like 5 listens to actually know what's going on. This one,
Right. Yeah, no, I was trying to expedite that process for everybody.
I just want to listen to how you start off singing here and critique that maybe a little bit. If we can get the volume. It's not gonna want to give us volume, is it now?
Oh,
Why
would it?
always it's like it comes and it goes and I don't know the logic. All right, so what have we done? Just go out of Twitter.
I gotta say, every time we open your Twitter, I'm never too sure the first thing that pops up. It's always a little bit suspect.
Yeah, what is that?
Uh,
I
Ask me.
I haven't
Hey,
been
my Twitter.
I haven't opened. I had to re-download the app actually.
Yeah.
Oh no, not there.
I hope this goes on your living room TV.
It almost did.
When I always got. It must be getting so old. We ain't seen someone else since 2018.
Now, at that line, we ain't seen someone else since 2018. You're damn near just talking. What do you have to say about that?
We haven't seen anyone else since 2018.
No, I'm talking about like we're analyzing your singing right now.
Oh well, it was a Drake song. I was definitely doing a little bit of my, the Drake impression. If you hear him in that song, it's kind of like a talk sing, and I just went for that. I'm not trying to give a ballad right there.
So, because this whole section to start, I wasn't your best singing effort. I didn't think.
It's a very tough, even singing that song. It
And
must be getting so old. Like it's a tough song to sing.
yeah, and it
Can I
was
hear you do your best at it?
all right, let me get in there.
Just give me one little. It must be getting
We ain't
so
seen someone
old.
else since 2018.
All right,
But
let me
what's
go
the
back.
committee supposed
Okay.
It must be getting so old. We ain't seen someone else since 2018. But what's
Oh.
the committee supposed to do? When I always got the most plates eaten.
Okay, so you want like a little bit more of a rollout.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, you like the okay. Yeah, that's just not how Drake does it, but I can consider that next time.
Fair, and lining it up to the beat a little bit. Like let's listen to the beat and see if you lines it up.
But what's the committee supposed to do? When I always got the most plates eaten.
Ooh.
Plus I'm always best dressed. I make the first part of their job so easy. So what's up with these new rookies? And how come they all think that they should beat me? Well, they better try this.
It seems like a couple times your verse ended a little bit after the beat ended. I don't know if that was the goal.
I don't know if it was intentional or not. I'd have to listen to the Drake song, see how he does it.
Okay.
You know, but
Yeah,
I was also
boy.
I was really trying to tell a
Cause my
story. You
tie has
know?
been a 9 for 3 straight years, boy. Yeah. I came as the coach, I came as a boxer. I put on my brother when he was the mobster. If he keeps it up, the shit might be Costa with his skin tan and his shirt off and the way he feels about Asians. Me and King renew our vows and then we kiss each other's faces. I hate the ruin.
The bullshit Inspector Icicle investigations.
Hate the bullshit Inspector Icicle investigations. I'm just thinking that my phone should be ringing. No caller ID. I gotta All I care about is Christmas.
All right, so that's you rapped. You straight spit, and
Yeah.
that was impressive. I mean,
Thank you.
you must suck a good cock because that was straight spitting. You know.
Thank you.
Um,
Yeah, I felt good about how that part came out. The singing was tough. The singing, it's not my natural, you know, it's not a good vocal key for
so
me.
maybe on our musical experience, you're gonna be doing some rapping.
I'll come straight rap. I'll come straight rap.
That was impressive, and some bars in there. I want to go back and discuss some of these lyrics.
Thank you.
I mean, some of them went out hard. All right. The tire's been 9 for 3 straight years, boy.
Or now.
4. And now this is really where it gets going. I came
Yeah.
as a coach. I came as a boxer. I mean, just the way that flows is so nice. And then this line, I mean, as you hugging your brother, our brother.
Yeah, that was special.
I put on my brother when he was the mobster. I mean, and shout out Rob as the mobster. Can we bring the mobster back? Because like that's
It
still
was a
my
great
favorite
character.
in the history.
It was a great character.
I know you're not gonna watch this video, Rob, but like, holy
There's
shit,
no chance.
it was
There's
the
no
greatest character
chance.
I've seen.
No, that Mary Mobster is a top character all time.
So good.
But yeah, no, that was that was a special moment. It alludes to the fact that I was the #1 pick. I got to put on whoever I wanted. I put on my brother when he was the mobster.
Then Casa with his skin tan and his shirt off. Interesting choice to put him next to Savalo there and say that his skin is tan.
It generally is like when I think of Liam, I think of him coming from Christmas time. He came from California, and he's so much tanner than me. But then Savalo's just a different. Savalo's damn near. I hate
Yes,
to
well,
say it.
no, yeah. It just I give you that 100%. I know I 100% agree. It's a funny looking at the lyrics and then looking at Savalo and Liam, and it's
I hear that. Yeah.
that's the position there. And then I mean, the best line of the song.
Yeah. Well, we
Everybody
all
knows-
know. Everybody knows.
Everybody knows how he feels about him. Liam, we know how you feel. Let the people know in the comments.
Yeah, that's a line.
I mean, just absolute spitting there. Very impressive. A++ for that section of the song.
Thank you. I think it continues a little bit here.
Yes, you're still spitting. You got you and King Renew and Baz kiss each other's faces. I don't want to think about that too much. It's always a part of the year that it happens, and I'm sorry for everybody involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, little shout out Inspector Icicle. I wonder how he's doing. Haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, no, he's gone missing.
I hope he's doing some inspecting though, because I was curious personally about those investigations.
Yeah. I wonder where they went.
Yeah, bullshit. Phone should be ringing. All right, so I think here we get to verse 3. Okay.
That my phone should be ringing. No caller ID. I gotta All I care about is Christmas and the specky being fun. Cal's gonna cut the tree down. I'll tackle it when he's done. I guess y'all are out of luck till it's 2031. Well, my son's 13 years old. Yeah, somebody should have told you. I'm going one. Yeah.
All right. So now this section, let's go back and look. This is you're singing here, straight singing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good. I was impressed. You're not gonna win any Grammys.
No.
But
I'm a rapper first, but I felt it was a little bit more in my tonality range, verse 3 or whatever you.
You had kind of the talk, the rap, and the sing, and
Yeah.
I'd rank them rap, sing, talk. If I'm doing.
Thank you.
This was pretty good. We got Cal's gonna cut the tree down. I'll tackle it when he's done. We saw the tackle. It's a good tackle. We talked.
Yeah, good.
For this year.
Yeah, we discussed that 3 hours ago.
Yep. Is it? Frankly, we
We're getting closer than we'd like, but honestly, it's going pretty quick.
Yeah, it's gone quicker than I realized. I think we're only at about 2 hours to go.
Yeah. Yeah, we're making great time.
I guess you all out of luck till it's 2031. Turns out it was till it's 2024, 2023, 2024.
Yeah, we're getting and that's something I thought about, because I had that speech where
Oh, we're gonna get to
2031.
that speech. Don't you worry.
Yeah. But here we are, I've stepped into a role I didn't foresee myself having to take, but next year I'll be back to a player. I think that's where I'm at. I'm doing what I have to do. It has to be done. It's almost a coaching duty again. I'm stepping in, doing what has to be done for my players. But I will be back next year, and this Becky will be better because of what I did this year. And who's to say I don't go first this year?
I'd love it.
It's
Someone
not
said,
out.
"Hey,
It's not
coach,
off the table.
hey, coach,
Not off the table.
hey, coach."
What'd you say? Yeah,
Hey,
listen. The ghost of me still might, and then was I really wrong?
well, my son's 13 years old. Yeah, somebody should have told you. No son yet, correct?
Nope, nothing I know of.
So still more than 13 to go.
Yep.
And then let's listen to this last you kind of did at the end here.
0-1. Yeah. Fuck it, I'm going 1. I said I'm going 1. Fuck it, I'm going 1. Yeah. I use my trophies as cups to drink. Give me some grapefruit and
I forgot about. Okay, so we can just go back and talk about. I liked you kind of. Yeah, I'm going 1. I like the way you emphasized it. You drew it out a little
Thank
bit.
you.
Very nicely done. And let's take a look here at Mariah. What do we
Yeah.
have about Mariah? I'm seeing a lot of Mariah and not a lot of cock.
I'll tell you, look at this little jiggle I give it here, though.
Let's do a slow-mo jiggle. Oh! You jiggled it.
Yeah, there was jiggle.
Oh, there was jiggle. There was jiggle, folks.
Yeah, look at the little flop there.
Look,
It's hanging out Mariah's mouth right now.
yeah, it's fully in her mouth. I even see a little ball bounce, maybe on her chin.
Yeah,
See that little bit of ball bounce on the chin? Oh, there it is, ball bounce on the chin.
yeah.
All right, I love that out of you, brother. That's
Thank you.
the form on pulling up the sweatpants. You could work on that. That was a little bit of
Could have worked on that. Yeah, it
yeah,
wasn't.
half
There's
tucked
been better.
in, half tucked
Yep.
out,
Yep.
sideways, showing.
We got it out though. We got out of that mess. We got out of that mess.
Good job cutting away from that pretty quickly there.
Yeah.
All right, and now we're gonna have some things to discuss on this last verse.
Okay.
I use my trophies as cups to drink. Give me some grapefruit and need that pink. I eat a lot, then take a shit. I'm the greatest coach since Vince, and I'm going 1.
This one's a short and sweet, but spitting again is clearly your A game. But what you said, this is like something that I would expect myself to say. Not,
Sure.
We go.
Yeah.
I use my trophies cup perfectly fine, right?
Yep.
And then this
That's what I
is
do.
really the line we need to talk about. Give me that great. Let's just listen to it. Oh, we're not gonna get a listen.
Oh, did we lose the sound? I can do it. It's give me that grapefruit. I need that pink. I'ma eat a lot, then take a shit. I'm the greatest coach since Vince, and I'm going 1.
So, give me that grapefruit. I need that pink.
Yeah.
Is that what I think you're referring? Because it sounds to me like usually when somebody says I need that pink, they're referring to
Just not what I mean.
No.
No, when you pour grapefruit into a cup, it's like a pinkish color.
Okay. Because really, every time I've watched this video, I keep thinking of you just getting in the pink.
No. I give me that grapefruit. I need that pink. Like that's the pink.
Okay. So the grapefruit is your pink. Some people like
Yeah.
pussy, and some people like grapefruit.
Yeah, I don't like grapefruit, but that's my pink.
Okay, that's your pink.
Yeah.
You see where I was going with it though, like how
Yeah.
I
Yep. I
was that a
can see how
double?
maybe.
Is that a pun?
Yeah.
Possibly? Or you didn't even think about it?
Hadn't crossed the mind.
Okay, very interesting. Well, I would have given you a bonus if it had, because that's a great pun. The fact that
Thank
it
you.
didn't, it's still phenomenal.
Thank you.
I'm gonna eat a lot and take a shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't sum up the Specky, I don't know what does.
That's what I tried to do in this video is sum up different parts of the Specky.
The
Grapefruit and the shit. The shit is part of the Specky.
I almost think that should be a category. It's like the best post Becky shit. Because I'll tell you, Dan's mom's office. I don't know if that toilet still works after what I did to that thing.
Well, that place saw better days.
Yeah, I really got in there on that toilet. Let me tell you. And based on this song, it sounds like you did too.
Yeah, sure did.
Greatest coach since Vince. So interesting. There is Vince. In your mind, the best coach of the last half century before you came along.
It's a good question. I think he's one of the most notorious. They named a trophy after him. So he's kind of the gold standard in a way. Vince Lombardi. When people think great coaches, so I'm the greatest coach since Vince.
I like where you going there. Let's watch the end.
Going one. Fuck it, I'm going one. Yeah.
So it seems like you got a little lazy at the end. You didn't put up the subtitles. You didn't put up a new graphic. You kind of left it on Vince. Is that the message you wanted to go out on, the championship?
That was me going one. I'm the greatest coach since Vince. There was nothing else left, for me to.
I see what you did there. I mean, overall, this is A+ content. Some of the best we've seen in the Specky.
Yeah, 2 likes.
Yeah, I'll get in there for you.
Hey, there we go. Took a while,
Um,
but I'm glad it's finally
I got
getting the
some-
recognition.
Everybody, go give this a watch because I forgot how good this was. This was great.
It was a good piece of content.
We have something fun here. Your scouting report as a prospect.
Yeah.
The young coach. Let's give it a look. We got Leif Coach Christmas Almberg. In 80, how does this work again? Current and potential?
Something like that.
But 80/7, it should be I think Dan meant to do the other way around.
No. Dan's explanation was that he saw me. He thought I was in my eating prime at the time.
Okay. So
He was wrong.
80
He was
current
wrong.
and 80 potential. Let me tell you, Dan, you were wrong on that.
Yep. Yeah.
80 current, not 100 potential.
Yeah.
Cheer, 60 out of 80. A young Leif, maybe didn't have as much cheer. I think the film has shown us today he's fulfilled that potential. He's at an 80.
Yeah, we've gotten to the 80, I think.
Consistency, I mean, that's got to be 80/80 now as well. So he blew past his expectations. Originality, I'd probably say, after watching tonight, I think it's a lot of originality in here. Some people have actually even plagiarized some of his ideas.
Turns out.
So I'd say he's reached that 75. It remains to be seen whether he has that 80 in him. So, as I would say, if I was doing this today, I'd give him 75/80. I'd bump up that potential, but say he has more to go to reach it.
Sure.
Let's read the review here. Leif is the only prospect to ever have more raw talent in a category. Oh, I see what you asked. We talked about this. He protects just as well in everything else. Pablo Sanchez of the sports. That's a great comp. Body type similar as well.
Sure.
That comp. He has it all going for him. Only thing that can derail him is himself. That's turned out to be true. I would like to see me with the full slate going at him. I haven't done it yet. I'm still hoping I have it in me to take him down one day, but he certainly hasn't shown any signs that that's possible.
I think next year will be a fun year.
Stay out of his own way, grow into the potential. He certainly has done that. Perennial number 1 pick till 2031, or my kid's 13.
Yeah.
Not this year. The ghost. He's a ghost though.
Most likely. No. It could still go 1.
So that was a fun little thing to look back on and see how
That was great.
they, if anything, underestimated you back in the day.
Somehow.
This is a big video we have here.
Oh wow. Hey, we're really diving in.
Oh, sorry.
All right, folks, we are here live on the scene of a major announcement incoming any moment now from Coach Christmas. He's due to be out here giving a major speech at any moment. We are awaiting his arrival. And there he is, folks. That's my coach, your coach, Coach Christmas.
Thank you all. Please stop. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen of the Christmas Spectacular, I come to you today with a decision
that was not an easy one for me to make. It's going to be a controversial decision, but I want everyone to know that it was not made without a lot of thought by not just myself, but by people that I love, know, and trust. As we all know, I've been going number one overall for quite some time now. It appears to me that I might even be doing it again this year. You never know. And I just see some growing resentment towards Coach Christmas in the community. And I don't want that. I don't want that to be what the Christmas Spectacular is about. I want people to feel like they have just as good of a chance as everyone else. I want it to be a real competition, a genuine competition. And I feel like with me in it, because I've been here and I had such a head start from everybody, it's going to be very hard for it to be such a real competition. And I'm just worried about what that's going to do to the sport. And so I'm here today to announce that, and again, this was not an easy decision. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This was not an easy decision for me to come to, but I love you, Coach. Thank you, Rob. Thank you. We're brothers. We're brothers. We're brothers. I'd like to announce that I will be retiring from the Christmas Spectacular in the year 2030, assuming that I have gone number one every year until then. If I go number one every year from now until 2030, I will be retiring. I know. This is a lot to take in, but I think it's what's best for the sport. So you heard it here first. If I do go number one every year from now until 2030, I will be announcing my retirement after the 2030 season. Thank you all. This is an extremely tough decision. I know. Thank you all. 2031, you all have a chance. All right? Take care, everybody. That's your coach.
I mean, all right, before we get into this, I just want to just replay the start because this just reminds me why the few moments that Rob appears in campaigns are always my favorite of the season.
Electric.
All right, folks, we are here live on the scene of a major announcement incoming any moment now from Coach Christmas. He's due to be out here giving a major speech at any moment. We are awaiting his arrival. And there he is, folks. That's my coach, your coach, Coach Christmas.
Thank you all.
It's just, I don't know, something.
He nails it.
He
nails it.
He plays a character perfectly.
He's a great actor.
All right, let's get into the speech here a little bit. I'll tell you, for 2 minutes, how long? For 2.5 minutes, I think, until I thought that you actually might have retired, and that the speccy was turned up on its head. What was running through your mind to get you to put this video out?
I think people I remember it was I don't remember much, but I know it was a time where like people were really getting sick of me. The growing like theme was, I'm only winning because I've been here for so long and I have a track record and this and that. And I had kind of been thinking about, should I retire? Like, should I step down? Should I not run this year? And then I was like, nah, that's ridiculous. But here's what I'll do. If I do this for another 10 years, then I'll stop because that would be ridiculous. And so I made this video, and it wasn't an easy decision. Because in my head I thought I was going number one for 10 straight years. So thankfully for this year, now I've afforded myself the opportunity to go even longer.
That's what I wanted to bring up because a new theory has emerged. Is the reason you took on a role of committee this year just so you could make this video null and void, and now you have no retirement in the future whatsoever?
I can't say it wasn't a part of the decision.
It's a very, very interesting play out of Leif, and I think that this is why you go back and watch the film. If you listen to what he says, I have to go number one every year, not every year that he's draft eligible. So by not going, assuming.
Nope. So I took myself out of draft eligibility, but I didn't retire. Doing everybody a service.
Yeah. So
I
this is
think I can go number one next year.
a long-term play for Leif. How many years do you think you're going number one now in a row once you get back in there? 50, 100?
I don't know. It's gonna be a fight once I get back in the ring.
Yeah.
I hope.
He hopes. That's that. All right. Moving on. Here we go. This so the Shredder. This was a show of yours from a couple years ago. Something that I might be looking into doing something similar starting soon this year as well, along with the Coach's Corner. And another one of your original ideas that this one I had remembered and was originally, so it was not going to be an original idea for me if I do end up doing something like this because I had remembered about it. But this is something that you always did. You're always a big rankings guy. So how do you feel now as part of the committee that your view on rankings compares to when you were a coach, putting out shows such as this Shredder, looking at stats very heavily?
I mean, it gives me a different perspective. Well, for one, I can't necessarily share my rankings as much because, my rankings have a lot more weight than they used to. That being said, I can still say what I'm seeing and what's important to me. And I think, there's no precise formula that we're using. It's a lot of feel, just like any draft pick when you're drafting a football player or a basketball player or a baseball player. These teams aren't using exact sciences. They're using feel along with stats. They're using a combination of everything. And that's what I'm doing this year. It's listen, how have you done last year? Okay, what's your slate like? And if you don't have a slate, but you were awesome last year, right? I might still pick you if you were that good. Like if you're like that much of a generational talent, your campaign's been amazing, you could still get the ball over somebody with a slate. Problem was we had almost I don't know, we had in the past we kind of half had an equation where we heard 3 year slate is worth X amount to a degree. Um I think not having that is better and just saying, listen, it's a combination of things. It is your first and foremost, how'd you do last year? Okay, how's your campaign going? And then I can use that and I can look at different intangibles from different years. How are you towards the committee? How are you towards your other competitors? Stuff like that. So we're taking it all in to consideration. And it's tough this year because there's been limited campaign data. So it's a lot of what we saw last year and then, the little campaign data that we do have. Um, but I think in general, I think people are going to like the picks that I make. I think they're fair picks. I'm trying to pick the right people. There's always going to be debate, but I think people should get behind the way that I pick the players I pick.
All right, we love to hear it.
And if nothing else, they'll know why I made the picks I made.
And that's great to know. You've always been one for sharing your opinions, and this is a great example of that. All right, and I think we're at our last video.
Wow.
Finally, because I might die of heat stroke if we don't end this soon. Let's and this is a great one to end on. It's you getting a call of a draft pick, the first call. And there's going to be something else in here we're gonna look at to kind of refute something that you had said earlier in the night. And let's get right to that thing actually. Leif, would you mind reading me what you wrote here?
I would like to thank the committee, the Vero family, and every one of the competitors. Without you, this would not be possible. This is just the beginning. Album drops 11/27. After that, it is all systems go, making this the greatest spectacular of all time by a long shot.
Okay, so now that you've had a chance to go back and watch the film, what's your final word on whether you promised the people an album on November 27th of 2020? What?
Certainly didn't say that.
Album drops 11/27.
Yeah.
What was that referring to?
It's 18 days away. I didn't say a year.
You didn't say. You don't think people correlated that to the video you put out specifying the year 2021 or 2020 rather?
Oh, you think people? You think people will?
Connect,
Oh no,
connected those.
no. 2020, as I said, that was the experience. That was the experience.
Okay.
11/27 is the album.
So what we are doing this year is the album.
Yeah, that they will we'll put an album out on the 27th.
Okay. November 27th of 2023.
Yeah, I can commit to that. That's yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, as a coach reading this film, mixed signals at the minimum were sent based on the video.
I don't know how. I feel like I was as straightforward as I could be.
Promising a musical experience of which most people would consider an album to be a musical experience, and to share the same date. Most people putting those together would have assumed you personally were dropping an album on that November 27th.
No, that's completely. Yeah, I can see how you get that though.
But all right,
But I
moving.
never said that. It's never explicitly said such a thing.
Let's give this video a watch. And as we'll talk about it after. Oh, go back to the beginning. We're gonna do that, are we?
Oh God.
Oh, you had to have it one last time. All right.
Yeah, why not?
Let's take a look and see what's on this Twitter thing, because
Nothing good. Yeah. Now we're looking at Bad Bobby.
bad Barbie shows. Okay. Interesting. Oh, good thing that's what X is suggesting for me.
Yeah, this is a tough look for you, kid.
Yeah. Frankly, I don't follow any of these people, so I don't know what.
Yeah, likely story.
Oh. Interesting. Okay. All right. So apparently I've been exposed, and now let's look at like. Oh, because that didn't work. Because we got to do this. Put it on my TV. No, please don't.
Odie, that means a lot. That means.
We would like to offer you as back-to-back first overall selection in 2021 Breakfast with Champions.
Wow, Odie, that means a lot. That means I'm. Oh, I didn't think I'd cry. Oh.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. You are now the second back-to-back first overall pick, the first since Snowflake.
No, that's correct. Thank you very much. Wow, it's truly an honor. I'm glad you guys appreciated the effort, and you guys are doing a great job. And if there's anything I can do to help, I'm here for you.
Keeping tradition, do you have suggestion for second pick?
Holy. For second pick.
Great video. I'm sure it's an emotional one for you watching it. My first comment, the JMU shirt, is that the shirt of Mike's, or is it one that you bought for yourself?
I believe that is one that I think when I went down with Mike to JMU for the first time, I think his family had bought me a shirt for going down, taking the trip.
Okay, all right. So I was just, because if that had been a shirt of Mike's, I was gonna be baffled as to how you fit in it.
Yeah, what was Mike doing owning a shirt that size, or how the fuck did I fit in? Yeah, no, that's a me size
clears
shirt.
up a lot for me, because I was baffled.
Yeah, rightfully so.
All right, so moving on, you get the call, and we're gonna mostly read your expressions throughout this. That's kind of the main thing I'm interested in. We've all heard, we've all gotten these calls and heard about them. It seems like you have a look of eager anticipation here. I would say you kind of
Absolutely
know what's coming. They are nothing if not confident. That's something we've learned tonight, if we didn't already know it. Where are we, by the way? I'm thinking this is
Texas Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. That was gonna be my first guess, was gonna be Roadhouse, but then when I saw you got a salad, I almost said maybe it's Miller's. This
Yeah, I think this was a Texas Roadhouse. I think the salad might have been a starter.
Okay, okay. That was gonna be my first guess, so I nailed that. And this is the moment you find out, right here. We get the double
Yeah.
fist bump on the table, the smirk on the face, and the sip of the diet. That's
Yeah,
pretty much
just
what happened, right? Right.
just literally right there.
Yeah. All right. So a lot to break down. We get the fist pump. Usually, fist pump. It's kind of like a quiet confidence, like nothing out of the ordinary, but like let's go.
Yeah.
A little smile again, like subdued, but you're clearly happy.
Yeah.
And then the sip of the diet. I mean that's like the
A little
icing-
celebratory.
little celebratory.
Slash, I probably just needed some diet.
Diet. The
God, I
Victoria-
can't wait for that. The whole spectacular. I really can't.
You're getting worse, brother. um, and then we have the tears here come in.
Oh yeah.
Watching this video, I'm not seeing tears. Were we doing fake tears here, or were we doing real tears?
Real tears. I mean, I think you can see it. You know, it was an emotional moment for a young man.
You're smiling. The eyes, they look dry to me. Usually, you get a little.
No,
red.
look right there. Look right there.
I'm not.
Look right there.
All right. It's.
I think you're seeing a man tear up.
I. Usually, you'd see a little bit more red with some tears.
I mean, listen, I wasn't having a bawling, crying fit. Yeah.
That's it.
No.
You know, you have a drop. The way your
I
eyes
think it's
dilated.
yeah, right there. I think a single drop comes to my eye.
Okay. Okay. So that really means a lot to you if it's bringing tears. So would you say that if the MVP is nothing to you, the number one pick is something?
100%. Number one pick means the world to me. It's the highest honor spectacular bestows upon a person. So it's not something that I ever took for granted or take for granted in the future. You know, always trying to do my best as a player. That's kind of half the reason that this might be the year where I'm okay with taking a step back with the plates or the really just the plates and stuff like that. But it's because I'm not the number one pick this year, so I can kind of do what I need. But when I was the number one pick, I felt the responsibility to go out there and be the best, and I think I did a good job of that.
Certainly did.
And I hope whoever is the next number one pick, I need to feel that they have that same respect for the pick.
I'll tell you, yeah. If you look at the past performance of people, there's somebody that's come up and really one person that's at year in year out challenged you for that. I would say.
Yeah. Yeah.
It might be someone closely connected to you, even your ghost.
Maybe my brothers.
Your brothers, yeah, brothers.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a beautiful moment. Still got some tears. The smile, it seems like a real genuine smile. We're still got the tears for that long. And I must say, this is a salad era coach, a thinner coach. I think a much thinner coach. Is that fair?
Yeah, he's looking pretty good here.
I
But he couldn't have been that thin because it's not like I haven't had a thin specky in a long time.
Brother, you weren't thin. No.
No.
Yeah.
But I have been thin. Like you remember seeing those softball videos of me. Like we've had thin summers, but winters I'm notoriously fat.
But I do like, I think looking at this, you're sitting closer to that 199 mark.
For sure.
So that's impressive because you still went out and ate that year. So that's good.
Yeah.
Even at a lower weight, you can still carry it. And this is something I think we all want to know. You cut off the video before. Who was your recommendation for that second pick, and why did you cut off the video before you said it?
Oh, listen, I didn't want to give away any spoilers. That was between me and the committee. I couldn't tell you who that year I ended up saying.
Bear Larzi went second this year. If that doesn't anything for you.
Okay, and I feel like that was probably the name I said.
It would have. I think he was a pretty.
Yeah, I think that was probably the name I said.
Right.
But I know there have been other years where I've said names and they have not been the number two pick, so it doesn't necessarily mean anything.
Interesting. All right.
Like last year, I don't think Joe was the guy I said. I think it might have been Liam last year.
Okay.
I don't remember. I can't remember. But Joe ended up being a really good number 2 pick.
No, he was phenomenal for sure. All right, let me get out of here, and then let me stop share. All right, brother. We've looked at a
Wow.
lot of film tonight. Frankly, 2.5 hours worth of it.
Sure did.
Final thoughts on what you saw breaking down your film.
Listen, this was a really great thing. I forgot about a lot of these videos. But it really just shows me how long the Specky has been around. And we hear people saying, oh, the Spectacular's dead. Spectacular's this, the Spectacular's that. The Spectacular isn't going anywhere, right? The Spectacular is only up from here. And I think it's going to be an amazing November. And more memories, more moments, for everybody to have and enjoy together. So I'm looking forward to it. This was a great show. I think this is a new concept, but I'd love to see some other people on the show going through their old content too. I don't know if anyone has as much out there as me, but it'd be cool to see what we can find for some other people.
That's the goal of this show is really, I think, number one, just to like look back and appreciate all the great work we've done. Because a lot of it I've forgotten about. I think a lot of people have forgotten about. You get the chance to really, and maybe get people juiced up for campaigns. Because just
Yeah.
watching some of these videos, how could your juices not get flowing? Like I have so many ideas I've been thinking of the last couple of days of things I want to do, just based on all the film I've been going back and watching to prep for the show, and
Yeah.
just how much fun campaigns are. So I think we need a reminder, and who better to start with than our coach, who's done it at the highest level for the longest time. Um, Definitely has the most film. So this will, as long as this show was, I don't think anybody's gonna be able to
No,
match.
hopefully not. This should be the longest one.
In terms of next people getting on, if you want to get on the show, let me know and we'll do it any day. I'll do one every day till the Specky if that's what it takes to get everybody on. If not, my goal is to actually probably record one, at least one, if not two, this weekend. Maybe one tomorrow and one Sunday, or at least one between then. Um, and if nobody puts their name forward, I'm gonna go ahead and record a show breaking down Zeke's old characters. Um, that'll be fun. And then I'm hoping people get on here. If nobody wants to actually come on, I'll break it down anyway. I think it's just fun to see.
I think it's nice having the person there to walk through the film. I would highly recommend jumping on this show, and I think it's a show that I would watch. I would watch this over again, my own show, and I would watch other people because I'd be interested to see their thoughts on I think you get a lot of things you don't really heard. It's kind of like a behind the curtain on all the secrets you never knew. Like who knew about the musical experience in my backyard that took place on November 27th, 2020.
Yes, and that I mean, a lot of things we found out about tonight. The musical experience at the top of the list.
The MVP speech background, like a lot of different things.
Yes, the last year's rallying of the troops leading into how and then your retirement actually being maybe a reason to get out of retiring in permanently.
Yeah, a lot of it's a good concept. I think I would push people to watch this. Obviously, it'd be something you kind of just play while you're working or something like that, or while you're eating. But like if you can get through some clips of this, it's definitely I think it was enjoyable and I think it was fun to watch, and I'll definitely watch it again. And I would definitely watch whoever goes on. I'd be interested to see like a Liam on here, Polar Bear, even Saval's got some clips right now. Yuletide, Dan, like all these guys, like
I
even Madness, like seeing some of his songs, having him break down some songs.
You could really
I
dive
think
into
I
the music with him for sure.
Yeah, and I mean if you could get the mobster on here or Joe Rogan,
Oh, don't get me. So that's
yeah,
I want to see for me to get this done by December 1, you guys are gonna need to start getting out there. And if somebody's got time limits, they don't want to do a 3-hour show like me and Leif who are sickos did. We can break down your top two moments and do it in 15 minutes.
yeah.
I just want people to have something fun to watch. I always used to love having big shows for the Specky, and I think this will get people juiced, get campaigns going, something you can watch here and there, 10 minutes at a time, whenever you're bored in the background. That's all I got, folks. Happy Spectacular.
Ooh, diet. Oh,
And Happy Spectacular. This has been the Coach's Corner with me, your Coach Christmas, and him, the ghost of your Coach Christmas.
Ooh, die. Ooh, fair. Ooh, your coach is ghost. Ooh, God bless. Ooh, happy spectacular. Ooh, coach.